All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We had a little technical issues with the link, but we're back here for the first ever New York Post Sports live watch party, watch along, whatever you want to call it. Dexter Henry Bryan Fonseca. We're here watching Knicks Celtics. Knicks out to an early 12-5 lead. We'll get you caught up on some of the stuff we talked about before the link went down because Brian and I had a couple of prop bets on this, and we'll see how those are looking that we wanted to do. So love to start by the Knicks. I was talking to you about energy, Brian. They had to come out here with energy, and you're doing it. But we also got to tell the people. We were just talking about something before we came back. You know what bothers me? I just can't stand this. Like, what are we doing? Enough with the white jerseys on the road. Like, we got to get that out of here. Get it out the NBA. Everybody knows I love the NBA. I'm watching this. The Celtics are coming into Madison Square Garden wearing home whites. And I get it. Some of y'all might be watching like, Dexter, that's old. Whatever.
Yeah, they are going to say you're old.
Whatever. Whatever. You wear white at home, unless you're the Lakers. And then you wear yellow.
And you wear white on Sundays.
Sometimes, I'm not, you know this about me. I'm not all about, this has to be, we have to do this because
Dexter is not a traditionalist.
I'm not a traditionalist, actually,
Absolutely
at all.
not.
But some shit just looks good. And white at home looks good.
I think white at home should be the case in the. I don't mind the occasional alternate uniform, right? Like at home, I don't mind that.
But do you want the other team coming and wearing white if you're alternate?
It depends on the alternate. Like, so, for example, the Nets, when they transitioned to wearing black uniforms at home in, like, 2018, 2019, I thought it was fine for, like, other teams to also, like, the Sixers would wear blue or whatever. Like, it wouldn't be too much of an eyesore if the other color's, like, light enough because it's just a black uniform. So I think that's fine.
Okay.
But when you have, like, red against green or, like, purple against blue, like, it can be very, like, it can be a mess. So I agree. I think in basketball in particular, there's something about white uniforms at home that just work, that make a lot of sense. I think in football, the colored jerseys at home are fine. I think in hockey,
it works fine for me.
I think in hockey, the colored jerseys at home are fine.
But there's a standard. Like, there's a standard.
Right,
That's what I'm saying. Like, all I'm asking is for a standard. You got to mix match and stuff. One time you might get red and green, which is terrible.
That's
out here looking like it's a Christmas game.
Yeah.
Like
when the Mets wear black at home, I think that's cool. I've always loved the black uniforms. But I was glad they brought them back.
I liked what the Mets did last year. I don't know if they're doing it this year, but they did Friday night. We're wearing black on Friday night.
Yes.
Saturdays, I think they wore their alternate grays. Have some standard at least for when you're wearing it. If the Knicks said, "Hey, we're going to wear the statement jerseys, whatever the hell we'll call them now, on this day,"
Statement City Edition. Let me see. Let me check.
All this stuff is making me sound old and angry, and I swear to y'all, I'm not old and angry. But
the Mets wore white today, although it was in the afternoon. But it was Friday, so I figured I'd check. Mets playing well, by the way, although they're playing the Marlins, but they're playing well regardless. We'll check back in to see Friday if they wear black or whatever the case may be. But anyway, regardless of uniform talk, if you missed it, we mentioned our prop bets at the start.
Yes.
On the last thing before we came over, I have 3 for this game that I am tracking. This is obviously not like. This is just something that we're going to be following throughout the show. It's not going to be the overall theme of the show. And leave your questions and comments, please do. And we will get to as many of them as we could throughout the night because we're going to be here all game. So, and we have a few already. So thank you for watching. Tell your friends. I am tracking Karl Anthony Towns over 1.5 threes. He has 1 already. So we need him to hit 2. He is 1 for 1 already. Yep. The attempts are what make me nervous because he's had games recently where he just has 3. 2 for 3 would be awesome. But we got to make sure we get that second one. We're halfway home. Peyton Pritchard, who has not entered the game yet, obviously, over 9.5 points. He's had some success lately, 3 straight games of 10 or more. He's also gotten a 25-point game against the Knicks earlier this year. And the second unit, we've been complaining about the Knicks' second unit all year. Other teams find a way to shred them occasionally. Then I also have Josh Hart over 14.5 rebounds plus assists. I almost combined Josh and rebounds, and Rob came out. So Josh Hart over 14.5 rebounds plus assists, and Josh Hart has 2 right now. So
2, and
it's still very early.
It's still early. I took Josh Hart. I did a little parlay. Josh Hart 5+ assists, and Mitchell Robinson, I think he's going to be a little active coming off the bench. Can he give me 5+ boards? I think both guys can do that. Josh Hart already has an assist. Mitchell Robinson hasn't seen any action yet. So we'll see. Knicks off to good energy. Josh Hart, I was going to say, sorry. We talked a lot about Josh Hart. Karl-Anthony Towns, he's got 10 of the 14 points.
He's
so
getting after it.
Yeah, Cat's been getting after it. And I want to see that energy, from him and the team defensively. We talked at the top. This is a big game, I think, for the Knicks psychologically, just because of what's happened with the Celtics this year. I need the Knicks to have the energy of this game the way I'm mad about the Celtics wearing white jerseys. That's the energy I need.
I at least like these Knick uniforms better than the other alternates that they've been wearing.
I don't like those City Edition ones.
Also, unpopular opinion, and then I want to hit the comment section because we got some comments. Unpopular opinion though, I miss the Knicks orange uniforms. I know people hated them because they kept losing in them.
Nah, those joints were fire.
Yes,
they were
and
fire.
I always thought even before they removed the side stripe. Before the Melo era, or I guess during the Melo Amari era, really.
Yeah.
I always thought they could have an orange one during that era with like a black stripe or a blue stripe going down.
You were one of the first people I know who brought this up to me a bit ago about that, and I would have liked to have seen that from the Knicks. Now, I still love those orange jerseys. When I'm playing 2K, I still bring them out.
Yeah, they look good. Like
those are fire.
The Knicks next year should have City Edition jersey orange, statement black, because I think black and orange is just a great combination. Look at Karl-Anthony Towns again attacking the basket.
Like that.
This is, again, we expect this to be the semifinals. And
so Carmelo
Anthony, yeah.
Carmelo's at the game.
Hall of Famer also.
Hall of Fame, Carmelo Anthony.
Salute to Melo for, I thought, well-deserved. And he's first ballot too, which I thought was surprising for people. But
I got the question for you though.
Yeah,
and we had it this week on this edition of Got Game, and my guests from the Let's Talk Knicks podcast, they got flamed for this a bit. So I got the question. You come on, you got to know a question's coming.
Okay,
this is the ultimate question about: should Melo's jersey go up in the rafters at MSG?
Yes,
this is absolute yes for you.
He said he's in the Hall of Fame because of his time with the Knicks. Okay. I think the Nuggets stuff matters too, but like. You know how in baseball you have a cap,
right? If he went in, he'd go in as a Knick.
He would go in as a Knick.
Right.
I think he's one of the best. I don't know where you put him, but there's at least a couple guys who he had a better Knicks tenure than, who have their jerseys in the rafters. There's at least a couple.
The thing I'm not.
I don't think everyone's uniform should be. I'm not one of those.
I'm very picky about who gets retired.
Yeah, like Nick Collison, no disrespect, but
yeah, come on. but some organizations, they got to do something because they don't have much history. I'm not making an excuse for the Thunder.
The Thunder have history. I think you should have Seattle.
This is true. I think you should have more pride in your organization to put Nick Collison up there. You should have a little bit more pride and faith because could you think about this? Could you imagine you're in Oklahoma City and you're sitting there with your kid and they're like, "Hey, Dad, that Nick Collison guy, he's one of the greats, right?" They're like, "Yeah, nah, he only averaged like 6 points and 5 rebounds."
I'm looking up his numbers now.
So, Nick Collison, I apologize. This is not shade to you. I'm just saying, up in the rafters is reserved for people who have put up Hall of Fame numbers or part of championship winning teams. And Nick Collison is neither. I'm just talking facts here, people. That's all I'm saying. How are you going to explain that to your child? Oh, Russell Westbrook is there. And Kevin Durant is there. Nick, which one does not belong? Remember they taught you that in kindergarten? Which does not belong?
Yes. Yeah. I think if you're the Thunder, I think Serge Ibaka is probably like the line of debate for me. In the comments,
yeah, I would also agree with that. But yes,
in the comments section,
we got a lot of regulars in here.
We got a lot. Yes, we have a bunch. Kyle trolls the Celtics all day. Shout out to Crimzad, who's always here.
Yeah, Crimzad always rocks with our live shows.
For the first 5 comments. He says he wants OG and Mikhail to get more shots. Let me ask you, actually. Let's start there. We'll get to some more comments. Please keep leaving them as we progress here.
Cat is on a heater right now.
And Cat being on a heater, I think is great. But
yeah,
he's not going to keep this up all game. Do you actually want to see, to Crimzad's point, And thank you for the comment. OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges. And Mikal Bridges, I feel like he's been involved. He's actually stepped away a little bit now, but you want to see their involvement progress because of this matchup in particular as the game goes.
Yes. I think it's important to see how their involvement is, because one of the questions I think with Brunson coming back, right, was particularly around OG Anunoby was like, yo, how is the aggressiveness that we've seen from him? Will that change now he comes back? And I don't think it will, because the two can exist. You still can Brunson being what he is and OG sort of evolving into what he's evolved into. I just think it's more important that they understand from the time Brunson was out that the offense, maybe all the crowd's got to hate that. Tatum out here flexing on people.
I wouldn't call him a crowd favorite. I mean, if you're a Celtic fan, you love him, obviously. He did get fouled, though. He did. Listen, he got fouled on the arm. And then he decided to flex on the arm he got fouled on. I'm fine with that.
Sometimes you got flex on people.
Y'all should be pissed off, but I mean, it's also the first quarter, so don't be that pissed off.
Fair. Yeah, I think that I think they definitely. I think it's a good point by Crimsdad. I think you want to see how they flow, particularly in this game, in this offense. Like, you definitely want to see that. That's the thing. I want to see that. I think the guy, OG has shown such aggression offensively. He's the guy I'm not worried about. I think Karl-Anthony Towns taking this, I know you like to take shit personally, but taking this personally and saying, okay, I've had games where they've put Drew Holiday on me. You have to feel some way about that.
And that's going to happen in the playoffs.
Right.
That's the sort of chess move. Like, that's what Boston has in their arsenal. They could just be like, yo, if you're not going to use your physicality and you're going to stand out and play finesse basketball and shoot from the top of the key and take that three-pointer from straight away, then okay, we'll live with putting a guard on you who's physical enough in case you drive. So Karl-Anthony Towns has to do what he's doing and be like, all right, if you're going to do that, then I'm going to just bully my way to the rim and get to the rack and let that three-point shot come a little bit more naturally.
And I think he set the tone in that. The other guy I think that's got to set the tone, and I don't think Crimsdad mentioned him, but it's Josh Hart too, because you got the reverse side of it, because teams have been putting centers on Josh Hart, right? Now, we know Josh Hart's going to be aggressive. You had over 14 and a half rebounds and assists?
Yeah, we're off to a slow start.
We're off to a slow start here.
We might get there.
But all you sometimes need with Josh Hart is one quarter, folks.
Yeah.
That's all you need. Sometimes all you need is one quarter, and that can change. So
Towns, by the way, has 12 and 5 on 4 or 5 shooting.
I think all that stuff matters, though.
Mm-hmm.
All this stuff matters, and like who plays good. This has to be a game of the energy has to stay through this game for the Knicks.
Yeah,
that's what I'm watching for.
Yeah.
Let us know, everybody who's rocking with us. We appreciate you. How are you feeling about the Knicks' energy to start this game?
Ryan Sampson, who is obviously our co-worker.
Our executive producer, Ryan.
Yeah, executive producer, co-worker, Ryan Sampson. Brian wearing a white shirt of solidarity with the Celtics tonight. Yikes.
Yo.
I'm wearing a white shirt because...
No, he's right. You whack for that.
No,
you whack.
The Knicks should be wearing white because they're at home.
Oh, you trying to save yourself. You trying to save yourself here.
This is big brain, Ryan. This is big brain.
Yo, you try to save yourself there. So you tried to come in the home whites in the New York Post studio to make sure you had the home whites.
I also feel like I look halfway decent in the white t-shirt. It's fine. It goes with the white kicks, the all white kicks.
All right. He is wearing white kicks, folks. I can't say that he did not match with his outfit. But Ryan, I think it's a good job about you pointing out. We got a Celtics fan here sitting here?
No, there's not a single Boston.
We know how much you love the city of Boston.
That's an inside joke. There's not a single Boston team I like. Although, as somebody who has grown up a Met fan, the Red Sox don't bother me as much as, say, the Patriots. For example,
understood.
The Patriots just beat the Jet fandom out of me.
Yo, it's crazy that we didn't even
actually the Jets organization beat the Jet fandom out of me, but that's another story for another day.
Yeah, that's why I stopped rooting for that team. That's also another story for another day.
We have more comments.
It's crazy, and I saw it in the comments that we
Yes.
didn't even talk about, and I meant to ask you.
Yes,
that happened. It's funny because I texted you in a group chat about
Peyton
this today.
Pritchard's in now,
But your boy Peyton Pritchard's in.
my boy. Although I ain't
It's your boy. You rocking with him for the bet. So now he's your boy.
There's something about him that's really annoying that I like.
there's something about him that's really annoying that you like.
Yes.
The only person that would say that is somebody else who believes that they can be annoying. So, which it might be you.
No, I was
Not that you're annoying.
I was. As a basketball player, absolutely was.
You were a pest.
1,000%.
You know who told me they were a pest, and I told them this on the air, that they described their basketball game. I'm gonna try to see if you can guess who this person is. We know the person. I won't say where they were, because if I say that, that's a dead giveaway. Once I say this, they said that in high school they were also a point guard, so it's not a tall man
like me,
short, feisty, pest of a guy, and would talk shit to everybody. Works in sports media here in New York.
Okay, so this is not me.
No.
That's a little surprising. Josh Hart, nice fall away shot there. Really good first quarter.
I'll give you if you don't get this, I'll give you another hint.
I'm thinking. I need another hint. I know this person, obviously.
You know this person. He has been on the weekly live show with us.
Come on, man.
How do you not get this?
It's because
he's one of your people.
Oh. Al
Cintron.
Okay.
Al Cintron started talking about his game on the Fan and how he used to play, and I was like, "You sound just like Bryan Fonseca."
Yeah.
And I was not trying to say that all the Puerto Ricans play the same. That's not the point I was making. But he made it sound like that.
I mean, if you look at JJ Barea, Carlos Arroyo, and Jose Alvarado, there are some similarities.
I will have to ask Al Cintron next time I see him how he feels about JJ Barea, Carlos Arroyo, and etc.
Carlos Arroyo, former Celtic.
Missed
opportunity for the Knicks if they had him as a backup point guard. Oh, it would have been amazing.
You would have got the jersey.
This is something Steve Cohen recognized by trading for Francisco Lindor. I told you this. You want to get the big Latin stars. You want to get the big Puerto Rican stars, Dominican stars in New York. As Jalen Brunson makes it 3. This is why Karl-Anthony Towns being in New York makes a ton of cultural sense. Same thing with Carmelo Anthony.
The Dominican brothers and sisters are going to be out there every game.
So this is what I'm worried about with Deuce McBride actually in the playoffs in this matchup in particular. Because Drew Holiday is going to figure out a way to get Deuce McBride on him. And it's like, Deuce McBride, you want him on Pritchard, but then you don't want Jalen Brunson to guard Drew Holiday either. And he could just take Deuce McBride to the rim like this. Drew Holiday is not like the guy I'm most concerned about, but like these matchups matter when guys get staggered and when the Celtics are staggering their bench with their starters because their second unit is just stronger and deeper than the Knicks' second unit.
Yeah, you wonder about that physicality that you want to see McBride match. The thing I was going to ask you about, I realized I stepped off of it, was like, yo, we need to talk about Mike Malone and Calvin Booth getting up.
Cribsat asked us about that too.
Yeah, man, they got
end of the first quarter. End of the first quarter, we should definitely hit that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to hit that because that was crazy. That was so crazy, man.
Let's see.
Yo, Keen Sauce is in the building. Our guy, he always rocks with us here. Keen Sauce asks, is Pritchard better than Deuce? Like, is he? Offensively, yes. Defensively, no. I would say.
That's the answer.
Yeah.
I worry about Pritchard more offensively. He's got a little more juice than he looks like he does. You know what it is with Pritchard too? He looks like a creative player because he doesn't wear any there's no rubber band sleeve, leg sleeves, like tights, nothing. So he just comes in and just hoops, which I appreciate. But
OG
Deuce as a defender, yes. But Peyton Pritchard,
Mitch,
offense.
Look there we go, Mitch.
Your rebound prop,
getting that rebound.
Your rebound
like
prop.
That. I told you I like Mitch to do some work on the glass today.
You need him to get 5. He has 2. Yeah,
2
in 3 minutes.
Hey, feels like he's on the way.
You'll take 30-point quarter against the Celtics anytime.
This is true.
That's the thing. That walk-in. That's the thing with against Mitchell Robinson. They're going to look to just set those threes up. Like that
was late after the buzzer. But hey, Knicks. Hey man, if you're a Knicks fan, I think you have to like that you put up 30 on the Celtics. Like you said, you're right. You'll take that any day.
30-27. You'll especially take it if the Celtics aren't doing their 3-point barrage shit yet. The Celtics right now are 4 for 12, so they're taking threes. Over half of their shots have come from threes so far. They've only made 4, 33%. Now, in looking at their track record this year, I wouldn't call that like a trend that you're just
that trend could change real quick.
Yeah, you're not guaranteed.
Quick.
Like they can go 6 for their next 8. So the Knicks
Mhm.
have to continue to stick to their defensive principles. I think they could actually like clean up on the perimeter defense a little bit more because the Celtics they've missed some open looks, which happens in the NBA. Another comment I want to get to. Let's see.
Why Crim's dad? Why would you do this?
What did he say?
Out here? He said he called a 5 overtime game before this started. You want to say
He's trolling us.
He's trolling us. I think he wants us to be here all night.
Still Knicks fan says, "What's good at Crim's dad? I feel like trash. Hope you feel better." Still Knicks fans. Also, Keen Sauce says Luke Cornett. Westchester's in the house. Once a Knick, always a Knick. Back when Luke Cornett was a Knick, he shot 3-pointers, and he really doesn't anymore, which is an interesting development. Also,
my guy Nick Frederico, my weekend producer, is in here, and he said he thinks it's the perfect time for should the Knicks retire Melo number 7. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. Nick is somebody who thinks they should.
Let's pull up the Knicks retired numbers now because I don't know all of them off the top of my head. Forgive me.
So you got Ewing, obviously, Dave DeBusschere.
I have the list.
Walt Clyde Frazier. You got it?
Yeah. So we're not counting Bill Russell because everyone's retired 6, obviously.
That does not count
at this point. So we have Walt Frazier at 10. Dick Barnett 12. Earl Monroe 15. Dick McGuire 15. Probably the only team that's retired 2 Dicks. Willis Reed. Willis Reed 19.
You got to look that up. I don't know if that's true. That was a very popular name in like the 50s. I'm not sure that's true.
That's true. Yeah. No, we're using it as a name. So, yeah. Dave DeBusschere 22, Willis Reed 19, Bill Bradley 24, Patrick Ewing 33. Would you say that Carmelo Anthony's Knick tenure is better than anybody here? I think some people would say multiple, but I don't know if that's just forgetting history or is that like a responsible take?
So the only person I think that you could reasonably make a case for that you could say that like he's definitively better than. Let me just be very clear. I hate doing this stuff through errors.
Errors, yeah.
I hate it.
But this is a jersey retirement conversation.
This is a jersey. So I really hate doing it. Now, I get some of you guys going to look at this and say, okay, Dex, let's look at Dick McGuire. Okay? 8 seasons in New York, averaged 8 points, 5.6 assists per game in 530 games. Let's be real, folks. That doesn't sound like all-star numbers in any era.
But 2 titles, right? Or one,
no.
Or 1 title.
No titles.
Really?
Yeah, because Dick McGuire, not to be confused with Dick Barnett.
Yes,
not the same.
Different Dick.
Yeah.
Yes. Dick McGuire. Yeah, I mean, that's the one.
I like what the Knicks are doing here in this second quarter. Start real quick. Mitch and Cat on the floor.
Yeah, and this is noteworthy that they retired Earl Monroe after, I believe.
Yes.
Or at least he played after.
It's almost like Dick McGuire also coached the team in 2 stints.
Yeah.
He's kind of there as like, because he's an original Knick.
Yeah.
Like, so Melo to me has obviously been a better player as a Knick than Dick McGuire was, right?
Another rebound for Mitch.
I'm feeling good. I told y'all I liked him to be active. I told y'all.
Another rebound for Mitch.
I don't think there's like.
Oh, there it is. Wide open 3.
Oh, that wasn't good for
4. Mitch is gonna kill your bet.
Jesus. Yeah, crush that.
You could have took the alt like 8 over. Oh. I would have got that second
Deuce.
3.
Woo.
Deuce physical. Now against the Celtics, those second chance opportunities are gonna be key. Like you need your guards to cut to the basket, be ready to rebound. Not just Josh Hart either. Like you need other guys to do it. Like you have to get against this team in particular now and in the second round. If you see them in the second round, like those second chance opportunities are going to be critical because the Celtics are so good at just being efficient on offense. They're not tonight, so you want to take advantage of that.
It's like how much can the Knicks keep up this energy the way they are on the glass? Like that's the thing for me. Like, got to keep this energy. Look locked in. Look at Cat even right here. He looks locked in on JB.
Yeah,
he rolls over.
Oh God,
Celtics are forcing some threes right now. If I'm being honest, some of these threes are forced, not good threes they're taking. They usually take good threes. I've been a defender of them taking a lot of threes. See, Cat, see, that's what you like to see from Cat right there. He got the ball there on the left block, and he just immediately went onto the spin move, went baseline on Jaylen Brown. You got a smaller guy on you. Let me tell you something. if the Knicks fans see this from Cat, this kind of energy from him in the playoffs, oh, this is gonna have the garden buzzing.
That's what fouls for Jaylen Brown, by the way.
And that's the other thing with Cat. Can't have him getting silly fouls. But yeah, back to the Melo part. You can't. I actually want to see what Cat does here. You got Jaylen Brown on him again with 2 fouls.
He's
right
going
at
to the
him.
rim.
He went right at him. He didn't make it, but I like that. But I like going right at him. Offensive foul, easy call.
That's a charge.
Jaylen Brown has 3. That is a problem for him, folks. Good job by campaign there.
Honestly, I wonder if this actually opens up the Celtics offense because he's been just very I haven't liked Jaylen Brown's game at all today. And if he's been starting to force some things these last couple minutes. So, well, it looks like he's going to stay in the game, actually. So that's an interesting. But
a lot of trust there by Joe Mazzulla.
If you're the Celtics, I mean, what's the risk, really, ultimately?
Yeah, Knicks, this second unit's played very well with Mitch and Cat on the floor.
That's important.
To start. They're on a 6-0 run to start this quarter. So, it's dope what you see there. Yeah, I was getting back to, your boy Pritchard. He's going to go to the line. I really like the Melo getting conversation. I think some people.
I think you should get it.
I think you should get in. If it's not like the Knicks standard. I want to, because that's what I was talking about with jerseys, right? The standard for the Knicks is almost everybody with the actually it is everybody with the exception of Dick McGuire has won a title
and Patrick
Ewing, right?
But Patrick Ewing is he's in the conversation for your best player ever. He's definitely your best player to never win a title.
And he's the best player with the amount of years of service.
Yes.
Right? 15 seasons as a Knick.
Yeah.
And has tons of records.
Yeah.
Is a top 75 player, 11-time All-Star, blah, blah, everything.
Melo's in the top 75?
Yeah.
I think he is, right?
He is.
He should be.
Yeah. I have no problem with Melo's jersey getting retired. I said this the other day. I think the Knicks will do it. He's so loved by
wow.
team. That was a great backdoor cut.
What a cut. Great pass by Porzingis. Head is always up, kids.
Always up.
Head is always up.
Good point guard. Knicks, I think, is very important for their bench, too. We talked about a lot of guys, but their bench, too, to try to win these minutes. See how Cat's got Jaylen Brown on him again.
Go after him. He's got the fouls. That could have been another. That was almost another.
Yeah, but I liked how you went away from Derek White, who came over and helped him. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Cat's playing a smart game. My bad.
Yeah, and I like that. No, I was just going to say, I like that, Mazzulla is keeping Jaylen Brown, paying Pritchard scores. I like that Jaylen Brown is staying in the game, too, because that Mazzulla doesn't want to lose this either. You know what I mean? I don't think he wants to lose any game, quite frankly. But yeah. All right. What else do we have in the comments here? Crims says, no, Melo's overrated. Don't hate me. Woo! Yeah, he's not it. Keen Sauce says, look at the bling. it's just a little shade. If they
you say you shining. He said you shining, bro.
Keen says if they do Melo, they might as well do Starberry too. Just trash.
Stop it.
I don't think Marbury's in this conversation.
I'm a big Stephon Marbury fan. I grew up a big Stephon Marbury fan.
I don't even think Marbury has more of a case than Bernard King.
No.
And I think Bernard King, they didn't do it, and it doesn't seem like they're gonna. But if they wanted to belatedly, well after the fact, revisit it, I don't think that's crazy. I think doing it for Melo is fine. You want more playoff success, but also if you look at the way the organization was and how they managed it, I wouldn't blame it all on him.
I think you'd want more playoff success, and he just doesn't have I was saying this the other day to somebody. Jalen Brunson has more. Wow, Cat.
He's getting his
cooking, man.
Jalen
Brunson has more playoff moments.
Did you see Towns?
What did he say?
He said that. It looks like he said that's all day. That's all day. The thing with Towns is we have to see this in the second half, and this is what it is with this team in general. Because they play so thin, they don't play very deep. You're getting some good bench minutes today, and Mikal Bridges is about to check in. We'll talk about that too, I'm sure.
Only 7 minutes.
And you guys will as well. Keep the comments coming. But with Karl-Anthony Towns, you don't want to see him disappear in the third quarter or something along those lines. You want to see him keep this going to make sure it's legitimate. That could have been a foul there too.
Good hustle.
I like the no call though from the officiating. Like call it like a playoff game. Let them play.
Oh, I
I
thought Cat
was gonna
was
say.
going to pull that. I thought he was going to pull it. Oh, that was Landry just didn't move. Landry didn't move. That sucked because the Knicks.
He wants a
Knicks
clear
had a
path, I
chance.
think. He might
Looked like there was a player
or
ahead
a
though.
flagrant or something. Payton Pritchard was around there.
I was trying to look at the props. Remember the props we have? I've got Josh Hart 5+ assists. Mitchell Robinson 5+ rebounds as a parlay together. Mitchell Robinson 4 rebounds. Josh Hart 2 assists. So we're looking good, people. We're looking good.
Cribs ass says cat is a dog tonight. Keen Sauce says Jeremy Lee.
Yo, King Sauce, my guy.
Jeremy Lin.
Stop trolling, man.
Keen Sauce also says Dick Barnett was
Also,
my dad's favorite Nick. Shame on you.
Kyle Brennan said if Melo gets his number retired, so should Bernard King. I disagree. Like, but Bernard King's
How many playoff series did they win with King? Was it any?
might be one.
He got hurt. Like it got.
Yeah, that's why I feel like
it's tough. He was awesome for I don't know a 2-year stretch. Really?
Yeah, really injury. So that's why I say no. Just no.
I'm looking this up. We have laptops here.
Oh man, I can't wait for The Last of Us.
Let's see. Oh, me neither. Astrid says hello. Also says the chain's lit.
What's up, Astrid?
Hi. Very, very, very good friend of the show.
Very good friend of the show.
Bernard.
I would think so.
Bernard King had 4 seasons with the Knicks. From 82 to 80, no 5 from 82 to 87. He missed one.
Due to injury.
Yeah, I vaguely remember this because of NBA Street Volume 3. They would have it as a loading screen. They would have like all the legends at one point. Bernard King was one of them. Anyway, and he played 6 games one of those years, so he just doesn't have like a ton of like it's not.
He just doesn't have the resume. The resume's not long enough as a Knick.
It's 206 games ultimately. He did average like 26 and a half or whatever, but it's not
enough.
Like
that's not Hall of Fame worthy.
But Bernard King.
I mean, it's not retired number worthy.
Like if you're retiring Bernard King, then we have to have an Allen Houston discussion because he had at least more tenure and went to the finals.
Right, which is like, guys, you can't just retire people because you like the player. Like, because I can say John Starks' number should be retired. I grew up a huge John Starks fan, or Charles Oakley.
And you know what? I do think, like, I'll give the Knicks credit for this. I don't think that they're super just like lenient with the jersey.
No, I don't like it. I hate organizations where they're lenient with jersey retirement.
I think there are the point being, I think other organizations would have Bernard King, Allen Houston, John Starks.
I agree.
Maybe even Amari Stoudemire. Probably not, but like you get what I'm saying. Like I think other organizations would have a lower sort of standard. The Knicks do have history. They're one of the original franchises. Like they do have a standard as it comes to retired uniforms. And if you're just doing by count, like he would be the 10th guy, other than Red Holtzman, obviously, but that's a leadership position. So he'd be the 10th player to have his uniform retired. And I think if you're saying Melo's one of the 10 best players in Knicks history, like he has a strong case for that. Absolutely. He is. But I would say he is.
Again, I have zero problem with Melo being retired. I think it will be. But yeah, I think when fans say this and then that's it. Somebody hit up on Twitter, said as a Laker fan since 81, I hate the Sunday whites. Really? I love the Lakers Sunday whites. Tom.
You don't like the Lakers Sunday whites?
Those are clean. Now, I will say this to Tom's point. Tom, I liked that the Lakers were the only team in the NBA that didn't wear white at home for a long period of time. It was just the yellow and the purple.
We should read the rest of his comment, though. Like, there's a point. The Lakers, Yankees, and Celtics have had iconic jerseys. I would probably throw the Red Sox in there, too, because I feel like they've had the same thing for a long time.
The blatant money grab to sell majority sucks. I don't disagree with you, Tom.
Do you think it's a money grab? I don't think that's a money grab. I think what's going on now with the City Edition stuff.
Yeah, I don't think the white. I don't.
And changing it every year.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think when they went to the Sunday whites and did it, and the Lakers put it on a traditional Sunday. I don't think that was a money grab. I think now with the city editions changing every year and how many different jerseys there are, that's a money grab.
Tom, let me ask you this. Please tweet back if you're still watching, and thank you for watching. Just a general question, how do you feel about the Lakers, like the current purple uniforms that they use? I feel like they're different than like a different shade of purple than the ones that they had like in the Kobe and Shaq era. I don't really like it as much. It's weird.
Tom, let us know. We appreciate.
I could be off, but
no, we appreciate you checking in on Twitter and to our whole social team out here doing great job with the clips. Tommy Hogan, Tommy Cohen, and the crew. Nikolai Jackson, the official Met hater, out there. Sam Antona, technical director. Just want to shout out our people who are doing a great job of doing this. We hope to bring you more like these. Man, the jerseys, we got to get back to the white at home, colors on the road. Have your one alternate. We don't need 55 alternates. Or sometimes when you get a dope alternate like Miami had, Josh Hart missing the three there.
Yeah, and most importantly, Josh Hart missing the three, but Porzingis just like not even worrying about it, right?
Yep.
Again, like not hiding the big, but just
placing the big on Josh Hart.
Yeah, just like being like, all right, Josh Hart, try to go 4 for 7 from 3, knock yourself out.
Now look, Josh Hart saw that last year against the Sixers, and then he made them pay. But he's got to be able to do that again. We got to see him.
Against Boston is different because Boston will be like, all right, Josh Hart, if you go 4 for 7, like we can find someone to go 4 for 7. I can't believe he took that shot. What the hell was that, Jason Tatum?
Yeah. Still
the Celtics are 2 3-point crazy, man. Like,
I know it's crazy, and I think I saw Crim's dad post this. He was like, the Knicks have sort of dominated this game. And they really have. They've been better on the glass, I believe. I want to look at the numbers right here. 13 rebounds for the Celtics.
I have so many tabs open.
21 for the Knicks. Knicks have dominated this game. I think they've also taken care of the ball better than the Celtics. 4 turnovers for the Knicks. Only five for Celtics. Only 1. Big shot from Bridges here, and he hits it.
There you go.
All right.
That's his first 3 and first points of the game.
All right. You like that. Also, you look at the job. OG's been doing a good job, as you expect, defensively. Even though I know Tatum's got 12 points, but
2 shots in 12 minutes for OG. Waiting for him to get more involved offensively. Haven't needed it yet, but
because Towns has been so good.
Yeah,
he's been so good, man.
Karl-Anthony Towns also a plus 12. All right, let's dive back into the comments section real quick. Crimsad said OG and McHale need to get in and start to play, which we're seeing that. Is OG in this lineup actually?
He's on the floor. He's on the floor.
Right he's back. We have like more of the main characters, so to speak. Asher says she's tired of the City Edition jerseys. Like she'll put on games and there will be like just all these different color uniforms or whatever the case may be. Asher's also says she's not a fan of the City Edition courts that were very, very colorful as well, which I can live without. The
City Edition or NBA Cup?
The NBA Cup courts, rather, not City Edition courts.
I feel like they toned some of them down this year. I thought it was better this year than it was the first year, but
20 for Towns.
Yeah, Towns has been great. This is one of the best Carl-Anthony Towns games, in my opinion, of the season already. Oh, Josh Hart out here looking for cookies.
Don't overreach.
That's a foul.
Celtics.
That's a dumb foul by Jason Tatum. Why would you foul Towns there on that rebound?
I don't like the way the Celtics are playing at all. I think it's stupid. I think they're settling for too many threes or trying to force up too many threes. And I understand. Look, I understand you're trying to play the math game. Like this is what you do. This is how you found success. It's not as successful this year as it was last year, and we'll see how it fares in the playoffs. But when you're 6 of 23 from 3 at that point, like try to get to the rim. And one of the things with the Celtics is they don't get to the rim enough. So if they're not hitting threes in the playoffs, I wonder how that's going to go. That's a very smart drive for OG there.
Didn't settle for the 3.
Very smart drive.
I like the Knicks are playing. This is what I think fans have been wanting to see all season against the Celtics.
Yeah.
The Knicks are playing. They're very focused in this game. You can see it in them. It's very businesslike. And the energy on defense is really good.
I wonder if TNT is going to give us a replay. Because I feel like OG Anunoby on that last drive, you just see Luke Cornett on an island, and it's like, all right, you have the speed advantage there.
Take him.
You know he's a good rim protector, but he wasn't at the rim yet.
Right.
So it's like you can draw the foul. You can use your quickness to draw a foul in that situation. I thought that was a smart drive.
I thought it was too. Yeah, man. If you're a Knicks fan and they're up 11, and look, closing quarter is always important because how are they going to close this quarter? It's one thing to build this lead. We know Boston can come back. We know they can shoot the three. How are you going to close this quarter?
Another three and
another
another
miss.
miss. They're 25% from three now, and a rebound for Josh Hart. By the way, we're gonna update that. We're gonna update the odds tracker.
Odds tracker, the Dexter Bryan bets tracker.
We're gonna update that once we get to commercial.
Yo, you know what made me happy? I just saw in the chat. Shout out to my guy Ron, still Knicks fans. Ron was on with me on Saturday. He says he doesn't have TNT, so he's living through us tonight. We are holding him down for this broadcast. We appreciate everybody watching. If you're watching, if you like this, please hit that like button. Share however you can. Share wherever on social media. Let people know to watch New York Got Game watch party. Knicks Celtics.
And follow us on our channels. I'm sure we'll be posting clips.
We are
after
posting
this.
clips. Our team is posting clips live.
Yes.
Through this, some of the best stuff. That's how we got the response about the jerseys from what we were talking about before. So they're going to be posting some of the best clips from this on all our platforms. Good pass there. Good
That
block.
could have been a foul. Good D by Drew Holiday there.
It was.
Didn't go for the pump fake.
Drew
Super
Holiday's
smart.
so good defensively, man.
Still.
So good.
Still. It's ridiculous.
So good. Knicks up 52-44.
3 minutes left. I don't think the Celtics have led.
I think they did 2-0 actually.
Mikhail with the fadeaway. I know that drives people nuts, but shot clock was a factor there.
Yeah, two good shots from Mikhail since he came back.
Yeah.
That's a ticky-tack call.
Yeah.
He just slipped.
But I think they were going to call that regardless. He had his hands out. That's the problem. He didn't check him with his shoulder. Okay. The tracker, if you will. Karl-Anthony Towns. I have him over 1.5 threes. He has one. He's 1 for 2. Carl.
He hasn't taken one in a long time, though.
Carl, I appreciate that you're getting to the rim. But bro.
Yeah, but you wanted to do it for you. Yeah, but he's doing what's right for the team.
No, I know.
But you want him to do it for you. That's it. But you care about you. You're trying to get a win for you.
Just one more three, Carl. Hey, look, it will benefit the team because it'll be 3 points. Just you can get in the flow of the offense.
You want it for
he's making
you.
the right basketball plays. Whatever. 20 points,
If he wasn't punishing in the paint, you'd be like, what's he doing? He's not punishing in the paint. But I get it.
Depends on what I bet. Josh Hart, I had him over 14.5 rebounds plus assists. He has 6. He has 3 rebounds and 3 assists. You had Josh Hart.
What am I watching here?
I don't know what this commercial is. You had the end of everything. We need to stop with this, just all this end of the world morbid. That's Doctor Who.
Wait, Doctor Who's on Disney Plus? There's like a new version of this? Yo, can somebody let me know when this happened?
Anyway.
I don't know if you're into Doctor Who. I'm not.
I'm not. No.
No, that's not me saying anything against anybody who's into Doctor Who, but yeah.
It's not for me. Josh Hart, you need 5 assists. I need 14.5 rebounds plus assists. He has 3 assists, so you're looking good. I have 6 rebounds plus assists. I need 9 more.
Mitchell Robinson's already hit 5 rebounds. So
Mitchell Robinson's 5 rebounds, you're good. And I need Peyton Pritchard to get 10 points. He has 4. So I'm a little bit I'm on tilt a little bit right now, but we have time. We have plenty of time left. We have approximately 27 minutes left in this game. Thank you to everybody watching again. Let's dive back into the comments, actually. Cribs says KP is hitting his threes. He is. Dexter O'Brien. Dexter, so wait, what are you asking me, Crims Dad? Do you or Brian work for a living?
Yo,
I think that's what he's asking.
I feel like that's a compliment because what he's saying is it doesn't look like we're working. Krebs' dad, I would do a lot. Brian does a lot of work here. I do a lot of work here. If you watch other work, we have fun on these live streams. We do. We have a lot of fun.
They're also our
but
jobs.
It's also a lot of work and preparation. And I don't think you would think we were working if you wouldn't be watching this. You'd be like, man, they don't put any work into this. Good question, though.
Asher says they're working right now. LOL. Yeah, I mean, look, it is work at the end of the day. Not everything appears to be this level of fun, but you also have to. You gotta try to have fun in your workspace.
You should try to have fun in your workspace, and I think, we hope that I take that as Crim's dad. I take that with the most love because you've been rocking with us and watching our live shows weekly. And if you think that we're having fun and it feels like we're not working, then I think it means we're doing our job really well. Not that we're saying we're sitting here to entertain. There's some entertainment part of it, but it's also to inform. And this is just supposed to be. This is how Brian and I would talk watching the game
without cameras,
at a bar. This is really how it would be.
Yeah.
There's nothing different.
Which has happened many times over the last several years.
Right? And we're going to talk and watch the game and analyze it in time and just talk about what we want to talk about. In the world of basketball, another Josh Hart rebound.
Seven
Josh Hart is out here doing it for you.
7 RA. Come on, Josh. I was going to mention that they showed the montage of Karl Anthony Towns just taking advantage of those matchups, those mismatches. I want to see how the Celtics adjust coming out of halftime, because I would imagine Joe Mazzulla is going to try to keep maybe more size on Towns, maybe double him, maybe send help sooner.
I'm intrigued to see how quick he does that, or does he think you said Karl Anthony Towns has to be more aggressive in the second half? That's something you said.
Or dare him to keep going.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Is his strategy just be like, hey, we don't believe you're going to do this for the full game, so let's see if you can do it? Because you brought that up as a key. Like you said, hey, he's got to keep. We need to see this from him in the second half. I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's nice for now, but we got to see more from him as this goes along. I definitely agree with you on that. I think Mazzulla will be ready if he needs to send size, but it wouldn't shock me if early on he's like, you know what, we're going to keep Drew Holiday on him. Let's see if he can keep that same energy, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I'm curious to see what that looks like coming out of halftime. And if they do make those adjustments, which you would expect them to do, some sort of adjustment, right? Whatever that may be, I wonder how the Knicks would try to counteract that. And this would open up things theoretically, because we've had comments about like Mikal and OG, and this would open things up for other guys, especially on these catch-and-shoot threes. And obviously, you always have to account for Jalen Brunson, which the Celtics will do. So this will open up opportunities for somebody. We'll probably be looking at Mikal and OG a lot. They need to hit shots ultimately in the second half. I don't think this is going to be enough, right? Like, I'm expecting the Celtics to at least make some threes at some point, especially if they're going to keep shooting them. But there's just still a lot to look out for. And you never feel comfortable with like a 9-10 point lead in the NBA in general, especially not against
the defending champion Celtics.
No.
Our guy, Greg Film Stuff, says best first half against the Celtics all year. Yeah, no doubt. Best half against the Celtics all year, Greg.
Easily. Yeah.
First half or second half, absolutely the best for them. Shout out to Greg checking in.
He also complimented the set earlier, which, I mean, I do like it very much.
It's comfortable. We're comfortable here. We're comfortable. We got what we need watching the game. I got my water. I got my coconut water. I got which is real Caribbean of me. Got my tea, which is also real Caribbean of me. So I'm good.
I might drink some tea when I get home, actually.
I have to drink the tea. They say you got to keep the voice
when you talk for a living,
lubricated, man, because you can't. If not, it's not good.
Yeah, you
can't do good.
Yeah.
Okay, Crim's dad says, he said, yeah, I'm joking. I know you work. I'm working while I watch a game, and text it. Yo, Crim's dad, shout out to you. Working while you're watching the game. That is dedication.
Multitasking. We just all kind of need to do it in today's society, unfortunately. We all have to.
There's a lot of times I'm watching games and working.
All the time.
And prepping for
all the time
else.
For me.
So, yeah, it's a lot of times we're doing that.
And a lot of times watching games is work,
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of times watching games is work.
What are we reviewing here?
Exactly. Is it the foul they're reviewing here? Because
are they looking for a flagrant? Coach's challenge. Coach's challenge. They need to really like.
Are you anti-challenges?
No, I'm anti 5-minute reviews.
Okay.
Like, And I also don't care. I don't need the calls to be 100% right. I'd rather the game keep moving. I don't get 90% of them right. I'll live with that. 95%. Get the main ones right. We're listening to the review.
No call.
Boston ball, no foul, challenge successful. That's interesting. Looked like he made
Josh
contact
Hart
with
is
the
so
arm.
disgusted. He is so disgusted.
His face. He's aware.
He's aware. Derek White said, "I told you that we were going to get that call."
Yeah, he probably told him to challenge it. That's why he's definitely a wear his heart on his sleeve type of dude. Was that Action Bronson?
That was Action Bronson.
Oh, losing weight, Action Bronson. How about that? I saw the video of him fake sparring with Alex Pineda, a former UFC light heavyweight champion. So Action Bronson.
I want to see that video.
Yeah,
I don't want Action Bronson to get me in any kind of grip or hold.
He's been.
I'm just saying that's.
Well, they were sparring, so it was some light sparring, just some, So I think with Alex Pineda, he's not. That's the last person you want to get hit cold with. So gladly they were just light sparring, light sparring.
So you know how Greg said he likes to set and he likes to look.
Mm-hmm.
Ashford is in here talking about where to get the chairs from. Ashford's out here trying to order some new furniture. I don't know, but Ashford, I will get back to you on that. The chairs are quite comfy. I will say that, and they do feel nice. I will say that.
If anyone from production could let us know,
I will find. I will let you guys know.
I will need that information
after halftime where they got it from. And what's crazy is when they had built this set, I kind of saw some of the stuff where they got it. I just didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
But I will let you know where it is if you're trying to purchase some of your own. Ooh, OG Mr. 3 there.
And the Celtics are within 5 now. 2 now.
Oh, and Derek White with a little look to the crowd.
Timeout? No.
Nah. You let him play.
Okay.
Through this. You let him play through this.
I think you let him play actually because you have. First of all, you have 5 left.
Yeah, you don't.
You don't want to have 4 going into.
I
thought they just called one. You don't probably clock issue or whatever. You don't want to have 4 timeouts heading into the second half, and also you have a minute left, so just let them play through it. So
that was the issue with the shot clock.
Ignore the timeout motion, people.
All right, so it's 54-52. Knicks with the lead with $1:02 to go. 62 ticks. All right, I said this at about the 4-minute mark though, Brian, but damn, this is really important that they close strong.
They've been playing so well, and it's already a 2-point lead. That's the thing about Boston.
But psychologically, I think it's important that they go into the calf with the lead too. I think it's actually really important.
Yeah,
I think it's actually important. Oh, we got a question from our executive producer, Ryan Sampson. Ryan Sampson's trying to be messy here. He's trying to be messy. He said if the Knicks lose in the first round, do they make a coaching change? Mike Malone is a
Stay
free
tuned
agent.
for halftime.
We'll get back to you on that, Ryan.
Wait, are we not on at halftime?
We're gonna take a little break aside. We're gonna step aside for a second.
Okay, so let's address this now because Mike Malone did get fired.
Which we talked about a little bit.
Yeah, we said we would get more into this. One, I wasn't too surprised because there's been smoke coming out of Denver. Matt Moore, who I work with also at Action Network, who's been plugged in there, has been saying all year, it's just not on steady ground over there, I guess, for lack of a better way of putting it, in terms of the coach GM relationship. I was under the impression that maybe one would go and both of them would.
Good defense.
Apparently.
Excellent
Great
defense by OG Anunoby.
Knicks
got something here, 2-on-1.
Assist.
Get big.
Assist.
There you go.
Jalen Brunson.
Quietly
just doing Jalen Brunson things. But yeah, I think to answer Ryan's question, if they lose in the first half, first round rather, not in the first half, we're almost at halftime. Right now, that series would be against, would still be against the Pistons. We'll see if it's going to be the Pistons or the Bucks. If it's against the Pistons, Thibodeau's out. If it's against the Bucks and Dame is back, we don't know if Dame's going to be back, but then I think it's a discussion, but I don't know.
Good block by Cat. All right, Knicks going into the half, 58-52 lead.
I don't think Thibodeau should be fired if they lose in the first round, but
yeah, I think
I understand from a philosophical standpoint. Would people look at this as a Mark Jackson into Steve Kerr if you could find one situation, especially with Mike Malone and Taylor Jenkins?
being on the
You
market.
have good coaches out there.
I said I was joking.
Two coaches who some people would say both of them are better than Tom Thibodeau.
Yeah, I was joking with Ryan being messy because I mean, like, yeah, I think if he gets fired in the first round this season, let's just keep it a buck. It's a failure. If they lose in the first round, it's a failure.
I think even if you lose,
and I don't use that word all the time, but you can't. This Knicks team
Yeah.
that's constructed for this year cannot lose in the first round. They lose in the second round in a
Especially
hard-fought
to
series to
Detroit.
the Celtics. That's a different story.
hard fought, but
If they get their ass handed to them
yes,
and they get swept or it's a
Yes.
gentleman's sweep,
yes,
there's also going to be fire. The seat. I won't even say the seat is hot. The seat's going to be on fire.
it's good if the Celtics beat the Knicks in the second round of the playoffs in 4 or 5 games, and the point differential is big.
Yeah,
Tom Thibodeau, like
Is in trouble.
That's at least a discussion, because if you're looking at the Knicks and you're like, man, we could get Mike Malone. He's got New York ties also, not for nothing. Like that's a small thing, but he's won a title as a head coach.
I like Mike Malone. But I would say this
Depends
too.
on the playoffs ultimately.
I would say that it depends on the playoffs, and obviously the team is so linked with what Jalen Brunson wants as a captain, and there's a bunch of Tibbs guys. If Jalen Brunson wants him here, he's going to be here. But if somehow he's not aligned with the organization, I tweeted this earlier today. If you're an NBA coach in this league, your time is limited. You're on borrowed time. Always. Unless you are in lockstep with the GM and ownership.
So
there are literally only 3 coaches I can say that about. Eric Spoelstra
yes.
in Miami.
Yes.
Greg Popovich
Yes.
in San Antonio. And Steve Kerr with the Warriors.
That's it.
The rest of y'all just hoping it works out.
And those are maybe the 3 most successful franchises in the last 20 years. That's the other thing.
Shows you
know,
successful franchises. Maybe everybody needs to be on the same page. And maybe we're all saying it's crazy that Malone got fired today and Booth got the boot. But maybe Kroenke, the owner, was looking and said, y'all ain't all on the same page. So y'all got to go. And sometimes
they were going to do it after the season anyway.
So why not? So I think the thing we're learning now, when we look at what the Grizzlies did, when you look at what the Nuggets did, if you're going to fire him after the season, maybe it's not crazy. Get a look at this interim coach while you get through the playoffs. See what you got and see if that's what you want to go with, instead of just taking a whole new search. Maybe the guy you want to lead you for the future is actually there. Maybe that is. Maybe he's not.
Yeah, and Malone and Jenkins are guys that are going to get jobs right away. If Thibodeau gets let go, I don't know if would he get a job right away? Like what team would be like Tom Thibodeau would like, you know what I mean? He's had many opportunities. I think he's obviously a good enough coach. Like he's one of the better coaches in the NBA. But I do wonder, because Mike Malone's firing was shocking. Taylor Jenkins' firing is shocking.
Shocking indeed.
For a lot of people, especially the timing. Tom Thibodeau's would be surprising, but he's also had opportunities in different places.
Yeah, it's his 3rd head coaching gig.
You know, I think he'd get another one, but like, who? You know, would it be Memphis?
I don't know if it would be soon either. I think it could be a couple of years. I could see him go back to TV, maybe a year.
Yeah.
But we'll see what's going on. All right, here's what we're gonna do, because we gotta take a break. Hang with us. We're going to be here. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back for the second half, and you guys are going to watch with us, and we're going to see if the Knicks can get this win. We'll be right back in just a bit here on New York Got Games live watch party. All right, we are back. New York got game. Knicks watch along, watch party. Dexter Henry Bryan Fonseca. It was 58-52 at halftime. Celtics just got a bucket by Derek White. So now it's 58-54. All right, let's see what your boy Cat's got, Brian. Got Jaylen Brown on him. That's a win for the Celtics. That possession, that's a win, man. And
Cat didn't take the Jaylen Brown matchup, which he was earlier. It's still early, but they were clearly waiting for something.
that's something that they are waiting for. They definitely want to see. They definitely want to see if Cat is going to still have that same energy, that same aggressiveness. So, Brunson got here. Oh, wow, no foul call on that. Wow, Porzingis had all day, and just like that, Celtics got the lead. First lead since the opening minutes of the game. Don't worry, folks. Brian did not leave me. Maybe he got sick of my stuff. He said, forget it. I'm just leaving. No, he's back. We got Brian back.
Little technical difficulty. We're all good now.
We're good. Well, just like that, Knicks led by 6. Now Celtics lead by 2.
Mm-hmm.
Are you concerned?
Yeah. Because this is what we were talking about. I just think in the second half of these games, this is my concern in the playoffs as it pertains to the Knicks, because they don't play a deep bench like the Cavs do, like Oklahoma City does, like Boston does. And guys can get worn down, or because you're sort of out there for a long period of time, it gives Joe Mazzulla, in this case, time to make adjustments or whatever. And you see it already. Like, if Karl Anthony Towns isn't punishing these mismatches, like, what was really the offense in the first half? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
he was doing a lot of heavy lifting, and other guys weren't really getting as involved, which is not a knock on Karl Anthony Towns. It's really to say, like, now, all right, if Karl isn't going to be doing everything, who's picking it up? And this is where, like, it gets worrisome, because this is going to happen in the playoffs with even like Jalen Brunson, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Brunson is going to go off in maybe multiple first halves, and then other team's going to make the adjustments, send help, send 2, whatever the case may be. What happens when he gets his water shut off and other teams are able to adjust for that? So,
yeah, and we know, listen, Celtics, their championship team, they're going to make adjustments. They have made adjustments before. They're not scared by any of this. But listen, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. You're a boxing guy.
mm-hmm.
You know, we love that quote. But now the Knicks got to respond. It's really not that. It's not deep. Listen, it's a run. You knew the Celtics were going to make a run. I'm not going to say I am overly concerned, slightly, because we haven't seen the Knicks respond to this. We saw energy that's good for one half finally against the Celtics, but we haven't seen them also then respond and show the fight. Now this is a good test to watch for the Knicks.
I think they'll have a counter run. Nelly Nell says, by the way, Mike Malone could be his replacement. I'm telling you, like, unless they really push Boston in round 2, like, that's a real competitive series, then it's a conversation worth considering. Like, and the conversation becomes, does Mike Malone take you to the next level? The issue with that, though, is what if you have him and it gets worse? And you would say, Brian, like, that just kind of happens sometimes. Like, that's the risk you take. But also, he doesn't have Nikola Jokic. I'm not saying
I think Mike Malone's a good coach.
I think he is
good
too.
Stuff with this roster.
I think he is too. I'm not saying he's a Jokic merchant, but it's different. You know?
I like that, Jokic merchant.
It's different. Like, he doesn't have the best player in the world now, who also happens to be the best problem solver in basketball, who also happens to be like the elixir for everything that Denver does. Like, he's just the best. So when you don't have the best player in the world and you have two guys who are really, really good, but both of them are outside the top 5'10",
Good pass.
it's a great pass. We'll see, but I don't know. I don't think the Mike Malone thing needs to be a thing yet. We'll talk after the season. There'll be plenty of time to talk about that after the season. There you go, stretching Karl-Anthony Towns again. I wonder how much. I wonder when. Like, are we going to see early? Are we going to see early Mitchell Robinson entrant? Are we going to see, some sort of early substitution here or not? That was forced.
It was. I wonder if that's part of the strategy, what you're talking about more in Missoula, right? Which is to work Cat more on that other end. Not necessarily about who you guard him with. Good defense by OG.
Wow. And no call, which I think that's good. That's good officiating.
Yeah. That's your three. Didn't get the cash, but at least he took it.
Almost got the rebound, but didn't get that.
That would have been nice for us.
See, now, but you know what? The Knicks might, this is where they'll try to, panic almost. And all right, Boston's on a run. We got to start.
What was the spacing?
Boston's on a run. We got to start shooting threes now.
That's not what you want. You want them to stay in the flow of the offense. It's funny you bring that up. I'm worried if they get a little bit too reliant on Jalen Brunson here. A lot of these possessions haven't had a lot of movement to them. Bridges and OG got to step up here.
Don't like the drive on Drew Holiday. Why are you doing that? Almost a travel.
It's good hands.
Drew Holiday messed that up because he passed that off balance, and that ultimately, wasn't good for their fast break.
Was not.
Yeah.
Good D by Cat.
Update on the props. Josh Hart just got another rebound. He's 5-5.
Ooh, the captain with the three.
I don't think. I wanted to see that drive first. I don't think Jalen Brunson's particularly worried about this defense, but I worry about everybody else in moments like these. We'll see what happens.
I really feel like this is. I know we hit on it, and some other people hit on it, but it's really about Crim's dad brought up the fact that OG and Mikel need to step it up once again. They've got to be better here on offense. We got to see some more from them.
Yeah.
So we will see if we get some more. They got to step up here. Both of them. Not singling anybody out, but they got to, because Cat's done his job. Brunson is, hit some big shots. He's coming on late. We'll call them big shots, but he hit some timely shots, I will say. The secondary scoring's got to step up. And this is where we talked about this all year. The concern about them, man, it's like where they're not a deep team, you're relying on so much on your starters.
I had to close the tab of Nick Collison's stats. I still had it up. It was distracting me.
Yeah, well, it's distracting because it shouldn't be retired, but that's a whole nother story. But they had to sell some tickets, I guess. I guess.
I don't get it. We'll get more into that.
Right,
look at that. Sending two at Brunson.
Well, see, this is what now. See, that's what I want to see happen. And usually, you'll have Hart sometimes there in the middle of the floor in the action. That's what I want to see. OG got that and went. And we talked about OG being more aggressive, but OG took the ball and immediately took it right to the cup and got fouled. And he went up like he wanted to bang that.
They didn't send too early, which is smart. Like, they waited to send that pressure when there was 10-ish seconds left on the clock. That's what can get your offense into a frenzy. But the Knicks were able to adjust quick, and OG Anunoby got that drive. So I thought that was a good possession by the Knicks ultimately. That's a win. Getting free throws in general against the Celtics is a win.
It's a win. They only hit 1 or 2 there, but you'll take it.
You'll take the attempts.
There's Cat again.
It's too wide open.
This is the third 3 of the third quarter for Porzingis.
I don't think Boston feels like they attacked Cat enough.
And
game.
now they are. You're
Yeah.
seeing a lot of actions with Porzingis in it.
Or maybe they wanted to wait to do it. It's entirely possible too.
Could be part of the strategy. Might not be wrong about that.
I'm still not used to Jaylen Brown's haircut, as an aside.
I'm not either. Cat's got to be better on that, man. Like Cat's got to be better.
It was very late. Like you knew it once KP got the pass. You're like, oh, this is going.
That's
up.
the second time this quarter. Now he's got Tatum on him. See, and that's what you don't want from Bridges in that. You got Derek White. He has him into a fadeaway jumper. Bridges got to a spot. Good defense by Bridges, though. Way to respond.
Yeah, and the issue, though, is Bridges is like 6'7", and you make yourself 6'3" against a guy who's about 6'3", 6'4" when you shoot a fadeaway seconds into the shot clock. Like, you're rushing that, too. Like, there was no need for that on that possession.
It's the complete opposite of what OG Anunoby's doing when he gets the ball on offense. Although, we'll credit Bridges because he messed that up. Knicks might have got a break there on the foul.
I don't.
OG Anunoby, another missed free throw.
What is he?
What is he right now?
From free throw line? Let me see. He is 3 for 6.
I like to get into the line 6 times, though. I love that.
This is the 6 right here, which he missed. Ugh. Well, 50%, people. Not ideal. Knicks as a team, 6 for 10, and only OG Anunoby and Karl-Anthony Towns have gotten to the line. Surprisingly, Jalen Brunson hasn't yet.
That's a shock.
Yeah.
But, that's part of him coming back and playing with the rust. What a shot by Tatum.
Yeah, that's 2005 basketball right there, an era that a lot of people miss.
Yes, that was. Yes, that was. A little ISO, a little step back.
Oh, good hezzy. And Mikal misses. But the putback with Josh Hart, that is 6 rebounds for Josh Hart now.
So where are you at on your prop?
We need 4 more RA from Josh Hart. 4 more rebounds plus assists. We could update that now. Karl-Anthony Towns 1 for 3 from 3. Need him to make 1 more. You already got.
Do it for the team.
You got your Josh Hart assists and Mitchell Robinson. Are you kidding me?
Wow. Did y'all see that shot? Porzingis is laughing.
Oh my God.
He's laughing right now. Porzingis is going crazy in this quarter. That's his 4-3.
Yeah, just a casual 90-footer.
Oh man.
Jeez.
Oh, Drew Holiday picked Brunson's pocket. Knicks look out of sorts right now.
Let's see.
On offense.
This is literally from the logo, from the Chase logo. How much time was left on the shot clock when he shot?
5 on the shot. 5 was on the shot.
Look at him laughing with the bench.
He's killing the Knicks right now and is enjoying every moment of it.
Yeah, I wonder why.
This is a big possession here for the Knicks.
Cribzat is going crazy in the comments.
Oh, what a 3.
You don't want to live off those, but you do need them. You need shot makers. And
but I think it was a big possession to get it, back to a 2-possession game.
He's a leader. He's their leader. And this is what a leader does. Like, whenever you need those shots, look at this mismatch.
Wow.
Late call. I felt like they were going to call it, though. It was late, but I
gotta see that. I thought Bridges got all ball.
Gotta see the body too. Let's see the replay.
But the fact Bridges is looking, but he's not really contestant for Bridges.
4 fouls, 5 points. Not ideal. Look at Action Bronson again. He looks like Bam Bam Bigelow.
Does look at that? I love Bam Bam Bigelow. All-time great wrestling reference there. All-time great wrestling reference there. One of the greats.
You know, when I was really little, I thought he was black.
Bam Bam Bigelow? Why?
I was like 4 or whatever, and he I don't know. Just looking at him, just like I don't know.
I feel like at that time you hadn't seen enough black people. That's all. That's the only explanation for that. Because I damn sure knew Bam Bam Bigelow was not.
Hey, at least it wasn't the one-man gang who later became Akeem the Dream.
I'm looking at Bam Bam Bigelow. I just have to pull him up here because I'm like, is it? No.
Well, when you're 4.
Okay, I'll give you. You hadn't lived enough.
And one
you hadn't
Josh
seen
Hart.
Enough things with people.
And one Josh Hart. I do need to see a side by side of Action Bronson and Bam Bam Bigelow.
No. I don't feel like you need side by side. I think I see it. I don't see how Bam Bam Bigelow's black, but I see how he looks like Action Bronson. I definitely see it. Like this picture right here. That could be Action Bronson.
You don't think he could pass off as somebody mixed?
No. Yeah, I can see that.
Okay. Because he's not like
Cat.
He's not like Peyton Pritchard.
Peyton Pritchard, he is not. I understand.
You know, shout out to Bam Bam Bigelow. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yeah. I think they did a Dark Side of the Ring episode on him that was good. That's a pull-up three. I think Boston is going to live with just Jalen Brunson trying to shoot every shot.
They'll live with that. But
if they're going to heavily contest them.
Yeah, the problem is they're not getting anybody else that's stepping up now.
That's why. Because if the Knicks are being stagnant on offense, it's going to take 4 other guys out of the game. And like if you're Boston, it's like, yeah, I'll live with one person trying to ISO their way and get buckets. You know, it's on the Knicks to try to like, there you go, create the movement. You know, setting off ball screens.
See, that's the only guy without the ball that when he gets it off of action has been aggressive, and that's OG Anunoby. And they, oh wow, good hustle by OG to get the steal. Someone told me to take 1.5 steals.
Shout out
OG today.
Shout out to Uptown Sports TV also who
Hector.
just checked in. Hector.
What's up, Heck?
Rebound Josh Hart. Okay, we're getting closer. That's an assist if it goes. Look at Deuce.
Deuce with a couple big offensive rebounds.
He needs to do that.
Come on, money.
So you need Deuce McBride to do that. You need him to do that. And you need him to not just hit those 3-point shots, but we were talking about cutting the off-ball stuff. It's so important in what we're expecting this to be a potential series.
You know, we talked about how they need a boost from the bench, man, because the bench, the Knicks playing some good defense here.
OG.
Knicks have got defense is what got the Knicks back in here, along with some hustle plays. You know, we talked about Mikal Bridges, who, look, I'm going to say this about Mikal Bridges. I understand that the 4 fouls aren't ideal, and he's taken 9 shots. He's 2 of 9, 1 of 4.
I don't think he's playing terribly.
Nah. Because one of the things that I've been critical about with him in terms of being aggressive is like, yo, use some of your fouls.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't even know he's in the game.
Make yourself felt.
Yeah, and at least he's using the fouls and being physical. I don't think he's played a bad game. I think he's faded away on some shots, but that's another thing. I don't think he's played a bad game at all in this one. I actually like it. Look, the Knicks could use a little bit more out of their bench right now, if we're being honest. But, you know, they've got, 14 bench points? I guess that's not bad for the Knicks.
Yeah, and right now, so we've talked about the 3-point shooting for Boston when it was 6 of 23, 6 of 24, actually. So I mentioned them potentially just going 6 of 8. They've gone 7 of 9 since then.
Yeah, it's your fault.
So Boston,
it's all your fault.
So Boston is at 39% from 3. I still think their shot selection has been meh, but this is largely Kristaps Porzingis just going crazy.
He's went nuts.
And look, he's got 7 threes, by the way, on 11 attempts.
And some of them have been crazy. Some of them are this is particularly this quarter. He's had 4 in this quarter. Yeah. 3 of them have been the fault of Cat. Cat's just been sagging off on them. But like the logo one he hit, I'm not going to go crazy on that.
I'd love some numbers, which I mean we'll have to wait to get them like later, because they're not going to be available in real time, but like just some Cat defense stuff, especially from this quarter. He's been their pressure point, and Boston is absolutely just trying to figure out ways, or trying to sort of come up with these ways to get guys open in his vicinity, and it's working. This commercial is disgusting. This Until Dawn, it's really.
Do you play the games?
Hell no.
Are you not into the horror games?
No. Last of Us is where I draw the line. I'm good.
So you are not going to see Until Dawn?
No. Resident Evil, no. Like this, it's just not for me.
I'm not a big horror game guy, but Until Dawn is one of the ones I've actually been kind of interested in.
See,
Just 'cause
this is more my speed.
the Food Network.
This is more just
I have a question. This will be for the people in the chat too. When's Last Chef Standing?
Yes, food competitions. I want to see chef versus chef. Yes, I'm all for that. Absolutely. Anyway.
What's the last commercial that you saw that made you want to go buy something? Like really was like, yo, I'm gonna go get that. Like ASAP. The last commercial you saw that moved you was like, yo. And we're gonna take hey, you can say whatever it is. It could be food. Maybe you picked up that Uber Eats, you made that order, or one of your delivery services, because Uber Eats is not sponsored this show. One of these delivery services that you decided to hit, whatever it might be. What's the last time you know?
Oh God. If you're watching on TNT, they're doing the celebrity stuff. We saw Benny Blanco, Selena Gomez, Carmelo Anthony, Tracy Morgan, who's back.
Ben Stiller was there.
CeCe Sabathia, Michael Strahan. That's an ugly Yankee hat. Roger Goodell and Robert Kraft.
Robert Kraft.
Yeah.
Whew.
And Wayne Gretzky, whose record just got broken for goals. That's all the hockey I got for you today.
This is not up in the blue seats.
Here we go. Josh Hart with another rebound. So he's
pushing the pace here.
That's yes. Josh Hart in transition is a plus.
Now,
obviously.
One thing. We'll get back. I didn't forget about the food commercials, folks. We'll get back to that.
I have an answer for that.
Mitch.
We'll get to it.
Deuce. The Knicks bench played really good in the first half. They won those minutes. I think it's important they play good again here. What did everybody say? Oh, absolutely nothing. That's what Greg said. Absolutely nothing. There's nothing that he's seen in the commercial that has made him want to go and buy it. I feel the same way. I don't remember the last time I saw something was like, yo, I'm absolutely getting this because it's commercial.
I don't think so either.
Maybe I'm just not paying attention to that many commercials. Maybe I'm just like,
I saw a couple good commercials when I was in Spain, but like I don't live out there, so I can't I felt like I got what I needed to get.
Fair enough.
If you're ever in Spain, the chocolate with churros, oh my God, it'll change your life. Honestly,
I'm not a big churros guy.
Me neither, but out there they're different.
Woo!
There's a floater. That honestly could have been a foul contact on the form.
OG's confidence, man.
So the Knicks are on a run now.
That's an 8-0 run, I believe. Knicks on.
They're 10-2 or something along those lines. Got to look at the play-by-play, but a run nonetheless. And Boston's shooting is muted a little bit more now. Some physicality.
See, but just that by OG, even though we didn't hit that shot, just the fact that he's putting the pressure on the defense, like we need to see more of that. And OG is continuing to show that. Like, this is not the best OG game. This is not maybe his most efficient game. 12-3 run by the Knicks in the last 4 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But, yo, I like how he puts the pressure on the defense.
The touch.
Knicks are guarding here. Knicks are really guarding here.
The touch just has to be softer there for OG. That's it. But everything else was great. And he got to the right spot. He bumped Luke Cornett. There's a way to bump somebody without fouling them, Like Shea does it all the time. Jimmy Butler does it all the time. I'm trying to think who else gets to the Tatum does it a lot.
James Harden's really good at that too.
Yeah, James Harden.
He also does some insurance fraud stuff, but
Yeah, I mean,
I would say Trae Young, but we're not gonna do that.
Who
Straight insurance fraud.
Yeah, a lot more guys do it. Oh, that is a double dribble.
Yeah.
On Instagram, they wouldn't call that a travel. You see some of the accounts on there breaking down like what are the rules and what aren't.
Wait, what?
I swear. It's just
don't show that to me. It's just gonna make me angry.
Instagram reels are the worst. I wish we didn't need Instagram, but hi to everyone on Instagram who see this clip later. Drew Holiday makes a 3. So since being 6 of 24, Boston is 8 of 12 from 3. Which, if my math is right, is 67%.
Oh, come on, guys. That's inexcusable. Good way to get back by OG, though. I ain't forced a turnover.
Yeah, I'm right.
We did have some comments on the commercials. Astrid is here saying that the commercials have made her want to try Chili's.
The Chili's commercials are really good, and they're affordable.
But is Chili's really good?
For what?
Have you had Chili's?
For what they are, yeah. For what they are, they're good. For what they are, yeah. This is not a free ad, but if you compare them to other restaurants of that like caliber, like I think they're better than like Applebee's and Fridays.
I feel like what I'm about to say is kind of elitist. I can't tell you the last time I ate at one of those places. It's been a while.
It's probably true, but
it's been a while. Ooh,
listen, the way the economy is. I mean,
people gotta eat, man.
You got
people gotta eat.
You know what I'm saying? Like.
People got to eat. Ashford said
Chili's burger is really good. I ain't gonna.
Yo, I actually remember my last time eating at Chili's. It's been a while. All right, Knicks down 3 with just over 8 ticks to go in this quarter. Cardiac Knicks is in here saying he doesn't understand why some fans even care about this game. It's worthless.
On Twitter, Dr. Deshaun Jackson says no. In response to whether or not the Knicks should move on from Tom Thibodeau if they lose in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, that was a good question brought up by our executive producer Ryan Sampson. Ryan, I see you, Ryan, out here trying to start trouble.
Coming up on the end of the third quarter already.
This game is blown by.
Boston's going to have the last possession here. Yeah, it's 9:20, so we're less than 2 hours from tip-off. Let's not speak too soon.
Yeah, because who was it that said we should have a 5 overtime game? Somebody said that. Somebody said that in the chat.
Crim's dad. The fourth quarter could take forever because in the NBA, they ensure that the last minute needs to be 20 actual minutes.
Have seen that.
If it's a close game. So let's not hold our breath. If he makes this. He made it.
He did. Wow.
Turnaround jumper was facing a double team. Jason Tatum. He's gotten really good at that just mid post game, if you want to call it that. Yeah, he got to the spot. The pressure the help rather, from Cameron Payne was late.
Yeah.
But I mean, you forced him to take a tough shot.
You got to tip your hat to an NBA superstar, a top 6 or 7 player in this league that makes that. It's a tough one. It was good defense. Bridges did what he was supposed to do on that.
Top 6 or 7.
Forced him baseline, and the help was late from campaign. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? First round. They lose the second round in a heart. Sorry, guys.
I guess he's top 6 or 7. Yeah, you're right about that. I suppose. Let's see what we have. Cribs that said is more important than you think. Before that it says we need Mitch and Brunson. We need to see Mitch and Brunson in the team for the playoffs. And Cardiac Knicks. Did you mention this already?
I did. His comment. I was mentioning his comment.
I don't think you need to start that team. I want to see that lineup in the last game of the season. The one that he's mentioned.
Yeah, I think Cardiac Knicks says let the Celtics win all the regular season games as long as we beat them 4 times in the playoffs. I mean, yeah, that matters. But if they beat you 3 out of the 4 times, you beat them 4 times in the playoffs. That'll matter too.
When's the last time that's happened? Like a team gets swept in the regular season and then like beats them in the playoffs. Like,
yeah, I don't think if the Knicks win this game, it decreases their chances, or even if they lose it, of not making it, of not beating them. I think it was important. Listen, could we say this? All season long, when the Knicks have played the Celtics, Brian, they haven't been competitive in the fourth quarter. We are sitting here going to fourth quarter with a 5-point game.
A deficit for the Knicks.
It's a deficit, but it's a 5-point game. They have been competitive tonight, which you guys would have signed up to see.
Mm-hmm.
It does matter to me that they showed up and were competitive. It matters a ton. Like, they could lose this game, but I think if they show you they can compete, there's a blueprint for saying, okay, we're at least close to beating. Because I never thought the Knicks were 25 points worse than the Celtics or even the Cavaliers. You don't think they're that bad.
No.
But can they compete? At least they're showing they can compete. And then from there, you can say, okay, where can we close these gaps? What can we do? So, yeah, I don't agree that it doesn't matter. Also, here's another reason it matters. And we're kind of burying the lead here. The Knicks are still trying to clinch the 3rd seed. The magic number is 1. They're still trying to do that. So if they win today, they clinch 3rd seed. So, yeah, it matters. Like, it does matter. Like, I want to see him get to resting and playing the kids. But
And
you
PJ
do that,
and PJ Tucker.
yeah. But you know when you do that after you clinch the third seed.
After, yeah.
The Knicks win tonight, and we talk about this on the post game. We'll talk about playing the kids and resting and what that means for Detroit and Cleveland and then in Brooklyn on Sunday. We'll talk about it. But you got to take care of business first. Look, I think if you're the Knicks, I'm not somebody to be too dramatic. I think people know me, know this, but Brian, this is a gut check fourth quarter for them, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to call it the biggest fourth quarter of the year. I'm not going to be that dude. But it's kind of a gut check fourth quarter. You were up 6. They came back. They've now taken the lead. Can you respond here at home and get a big win? This is a big win if the Knicks get it, man. Oh, Cardiac Knicks just said a move that I think you might approve of. He said have PJ Tucker come in and take out Kristaps Porzingis' knees.
I mean, you don't want to be obvious about it, but
he's out here. He's out here asking for somebody to do with Tanya Harding.
There is a nice floater from Campaign right out. So this is these first 3, 4, 5 minutes of the fourth quarter are so important, especially like given the lineups. Like you still have Tatum out there for the Celtics. You have Porzingis out there for the Celtics too, as well as Derek White, along with Peyton Pritchard, along with Sam Hauser. And for the Knicks, you don't have Jalen Brunson. You don't have OG Anunoby. You don't have Karl-Anthony Towns either.
I thought you might see some Cat Mitch to start.
Yeah, you're getting Mitch, but you're getting him with Campaign, Deuce, Mikal Bridges, and Josh Hart. Mikal Bridges is kind of the key in a lot of ways to these first few minutes of the quarter. You know, like Josh Hart as well, but from an offensive creation standpoint, like where are they going to look? It's going to be Mikal Bridges first, and then Campaign second, which might be frightening for some people.
That is frightening,
and that's why. Luckily, went out of bounds on Peyton Pritchard. But.
Knicks haven't done a good job to me. I look in the third quarter, but securing these rebounds, they did a better job in the first half. And you still have the edge 39-30 in terms of rebounds. In turnovers, Celtics have 10 turnovers. They have 8. So, the Knicks have been doing that. But one of the areas we should keep an eye on, free throws. Knicks only 6 of 11. We'll see. Astrid, I saw your comment with the commercials. You said, for commercials, latest Samsung convinced me to upgrade. No regrets.
Yes, that's right.
Yes. Okay, phone upgrades. I see that. I can see that.
Also, furniture.
Oh, by the way, Astrid, we have an update for you. You asked where these chairs were from. They are from Wayfair. We are also going to provide you with a link. We will get that for you. Oh, I shouldn't have said their name. They don't sponsor this. But if y'all do want to, we can gladly take it.
Yeah. Shout out to Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah. These chairs are comfortable. Okay. Boston does not have a comfortable lead. Knicks trying to get into this. This is dicey.
I need to see Jalen Brunson or Karl-Anthony Towns get checked in now.
Yeah.
Like we talk about Tibbs plays guys too much. Now is when I would have actually preferred to see Brunson or Towns play the entire fourth, especially given this lineup. You're not getting a lot of creativity from this lineup.
Good defense by Mitchell Robinson.
You're getting defense. You are getting defense.
Wow, that was a hell of
it. Don't fade away here.
I would have brought him to pull that 3. But, hey, Campaign doing Campaign things.
It's 5 points.
I was about to say no. He said yes.
5 in the fourth.
Man, Campaign giving some big buckets here in the fourth quarter.
Knicks are only 33% from 3 after that one. There's room for improvement there. All right, where's Pritchard?
Tough finish by Pritchard. Your boy.
He has 6 points? Come on, bro.
Come on. That's the Boston hero.
I get the sense his jersey's popular out there.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Because it's Boston.
I said he didn't have a accessory earlier. Excuse me. And then he popped up with a black wristband, and now he has white tape over it.
Mitch. I was like, please get up. Thought he was down.
That's a foul.
That's a tough break because Mitchell Robinson.
That's a continuation in 2005.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mitch is up.
Yeah, that's not. Mitchell was holding his left knee. That doesn't look good. He's Watch. If you're watching home on the replay, you're gonna see he landed everybody on the floor, Derek White, and that was the thing. I think he would have secured that rebound if he didn't. Was that Bridges down on the floor? No,
Payne.
Payne.
He tripped on Derek White and landed on his back. Given that they play, let me see, Detroit next, they're gonna need Mitchell Robinson for that game as well. Karl-Anthony Towns is in now, so there's your offensive juice. We'll see how much of a hit the defense takes, though.
Right, and are they gonna hunt him on these possessions in action with Porzingis? That's the thing I'm looking at. All right, Cat, can you go to work?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, go to work.
He went quiet in the third quarter.
Get big.
There's the mismatch. He is
like
26 now.
Get big. You like that?
26 and 11. Don't know how much he's given up on defense.
4 in the second half. Man, he's still multiple quarter to go.
This is the matchup right here that they want. I'm sure they can get something else off of it, or
close out by
just
Cat.
a 3.
I thought he closed out pretty well, but I can't kill him on that.
From this angle, it looks that way. I wonder
how close he was.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's one of those where it's better when you're at the game in person. You can see.
You just fake a behind the head pass. That's funny. A lot of camera pain. Tie up?
I think one of the differences you're seeing in this game, it's a 6-point game, but it becomes math, right? The Knicks are 9 of 28 from 3-point land. The Celtics really a lot in part to KP going crazy. They're 16 of 41. When a team is +7 in terms of made threes.
Oh God,
that's tough. Is this a commercial that disgusts you?
No, just this song is ass.
Wow.
I don't want to mention the artist because I think the artist is likable. I just hate this song by the artist.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood. Not a bad commercial, though.
It's a Bacardi commercial, but whatever.
Not bad.
Some
of these other ones we've been seeing.
Not for me.
Not the same.
Josh Hart, by the way, rebounds, assists, watch. He is at 14.
So one more.
Either,
and you're good.
Towns need the 3, and Peyton Pritchard need 4 points. So
I think you're going to get a late Towns 3.
It's coming down.
Late Towns 3.
It's coming down to the wire, which I don't appreciate. But this is the silly game we play as it pertains to that. My best bet was on an Action Network post was actually Steph Curry over 24.5 points. I don't even think that game started because the Warriors are playing the Suns. No, that's actually after this on TNT.
Oh, that's the next one.
Yeah, the Suns are just a bummer to watch.
They're done. They're cooked. I said that earlier today. I was
you talked about this on New York Got Game, whether or not the Knicks should get Kevin Durant, right?
Yes, we did talk about that. Don't give me that look like you're thinking about this. Oh my God! Here we go.
You wouldn't consider it?
No,
yeah.
no. And I'm tired of the people that say, "Well, he's Kevin Durant." Like he's 37 years old. People.
I know. Knicks fans. There are a lot of Knicks fans, I think, that don't want him versus want him because they
I don't care about any of that.
Those
they're in their feelings.
Yeah.
Okay, and those Knicks fans, if somebody can help you win, you can get over that. That's not my reason.
It's only a year.
Kevin Durant solves what for you? You're gonna have to give up stuff to get him, which is going to hurt your depth again. You don't need help on offense. Offense isn't the Knicks' problem. He's going to make you weaker defensively. Just
depending on what he goes out for.
Guys, he's 37 years old.
Chat, stop the KD talk. Crimzat says, Greg says, I don't want KD anywhere near the Knicks. I'm not saying, yo, you absolutely gotta but we're talking about Tom Thibodeau, right? If you get whooped in the playoffs, absolutely, just tank and the offense is a problem. You can't create the looks that you want or whatever. I mean, listen, I think they would get beat out. There are some other teams that
I just don't see how you make them better. I just don't see it. I just think people get too enamored with names sometimes that they don't look at what people can do once they're past their prime. They get way too enamored with names. And it's what is Kevin Durant? But it's Kevin Durant at 37 years old. There's there's context to this. It matters.
I would say he's more than a name at this stage. Like,
Yes,
still
he's a Hall of Famer.
He's still
He's a
all-star.
legend. Blah, blah, blah. All this stuff. Is he going to make you better? Or
Depends
do
on
you
the
just
deal.
become the East Coast version of the Phoenix Suns?
That is good. Pressure right there. No jump ball either. Deuce McBride has to be a pest in this series. When these two face off, I'm calling it now.
Could have had 3 there.
No.
Bang that.
Close out. Oh, he
I
tried
like
it. Oh, I thought you
I thought you were the ref.
Me too.
I thought you were going to be like, no, that call was nonsense.
I thought Towns was gonna beam the ref.
I mean,
Porzingis is gonna beam the ref.
I thought he was gonna throw it back.
Dodgeball style. Look.
To be fair, that was not a foul on Porzingis.
I don't think so either.
That was not a foul. Yo, I thought he was gonna throw it at the ref. Can you imagine if that happened? Oh my God.
Self-actualized says, "Well, we don't want KD." I meant to look this up. I will stop after this. I promise. I will stop after this. I just want to see what the deal would actually look like from a contractual standpoint. Because
so I've looked through some of this,
and
I know
he's
what they would
expiring like 55-ish million. And ugh.
So no. So hold on. Just pause that there. He's an expiring $55 million. So folks, let's think about what it takes for the Knicks to get him. You're going to start with talking about OG Anunoby because he makes $40 million, right? You're going to want to throw his salary in there, okay? Then you're
but
you have to.
Yeah.
You have no choice but to put it in.
40.
You probably will then throw Mitchell Robinson in there. It's about $13 million. That gets you up to 53, and then you'll have some lower salary player. I don't know who that is. Pacome
Dadier, yeah.
That you're going to do.
And then whatever draft capital you have left, I guess.
Now you are back.
Although I don't think it will be much draft
You're back in a similar situation you are. You're slightly below the second apron. You don't have that much moves to improve the depth in your team. You'll need a backup center. How does that make you better? And you just got weaker defensively.
Well, if you believe Huck Purdy's going to be the backup center, which some of y'all do, there's one problem.
Are you better defensively?
I wouldn't do that because of OG.
I wouldn't either.
For the thing, I would only consider it if it's like a McHale-centric deal, but financially, it kind of can't be. That's the issue.
Because McHale,
if you
make about $22 million.
If you were to like just swap the salaries of McHale, Bridges,
I love this commercial.
if you're able to swap,
I'm talking about the Levi's Beyonce commercial. I love that commercial.
If you were able to swap the salaries of McHale Bridges,
best commercial, hands down. Hands down. Just picked up that Beyonce Lemonade on vinyl. Fantastic album. Yeah, great job.
If you were able to swap the salaries of Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby, then yeah, you could pretend then Mikal, Robinson, Dadier, some draft compensation. Like that's something I'd consider. But otherwise, you can't do it. So it's a moot point. We can let it go.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think people have actually thought about the finances.
I do think as much as we talk about Tom Thibodeau, there's an interesting Mikal Bridges extension discussion to be had and what that looks like. That's the most interesting Knicks thing for me
for the
offseason. Outside of the head coaching situation, which that's not as interesting because we're going to know about that quickly. Mikal Bridges is going to take some time, I ultimately think they'll keep him, but the actual number matters. The terms of the deal matter.
Oh, you're going to watch this.
No, I'm not. Absolutely not. I'm not watching Paul American. No.
Yeah.
I'll say this about Jake Paul. I don't think I'm less harder on him than I used to be, but boxing is quickly becoming a who's the bigger evil between Jake Paul and Turkey Al-Sheikh and Dana White. So, and the promoters or whatever, it's just a mess. But
yeah, I'm not watching.
I got hours on boxing, but we
know. I know that
tonight's not the night.
And Greg out here is telling me to chill. Why? Because I like the Beyonce commercial? Don't be mad because I like the Beyonce commercial. I like that. They need to play that a couple more times. We saw Until Dawn like 4 times.
Although, unified welterweight championship fight this weekend in Atlantic City. Jerome Boots Ennis and Imantas Stanionis. So,
cookies.
That's worth talking about. I did something on that on my YouTube channel today. So Go check out the film study. Anyway,
Boots needs another good win. We like to see him do well. Bridges, what you got? Nothing.
again, like, do you need to
Shoot
fade
that.
there?
I like him going right back and shooting.
That's
I like that.
Yeah, and he
I
didn't.
like that.
He didn't fade.
Okay. I like that
He
he
was
pulled
set.
right back into the shot.
He was set. 22nd chance points for the Knicks, 18 for the Celtics. 13 offensive rebounds for the Knicks. That was key to them last year. They don't do that as much this year. That was key to them last
Just
year.
not as a good offensive team. There's Cat dropping and Tatum making him pay.
It's hard because, like, this is where basketball is now, where you just have a lot of guys who can make that shot. That wasn't the case 8 years ago, 5 years ago, even to some extent. Those walk-in threes off the dribble. Campaign was open.
I like the aggressiveness.
And one?
Not on the ground. Okay, I like the call.
Yeah.
Listen, and the Knicks need to go a little bit more to Cat, right? Because they kind of got away from this, at least a lot in the third quarter. But Cat, when he's gotten the ball on the block here in the fourth, he's been attacking.
Tatum had his right hand on him. Brunson's in and Anobi's in, so we have the main guys.
Closing time.
It's expected, 6:50 left.
Closing time.
Now you got to go get it. Also, important to some, the spread. I think closed at 2.5 for Boston. So important to some. That's all I'm going to say. I didn't have any action on the spread tonight. It was not touchable for me. It doesn't look like Payton Pritchard's going to get this over for me. That's cool. He took 3 shots in 24 minutes.
Got the ball right now. I thought you were going to ask for him to shoot from the logo.
3 shots in 24 minutes, Payton Pritchard. Seriously? It's fine. I'm not going to be in your DMs like some of these other losers. I don't care about it that much. Oh, is this shot number 4 to troll me?
Shot number 4. And he made it. Of course. See, you had to be. You see, see, you can't trust Brian, folks. He wore the white T-shirt.
One more.
Team Celtics.
Uno más, por favor. Come on. All right.
What was that?
Was that out on Tatum? Yeah. 96-91, 6:10 left. Temperature check, Dex. Do you think a run is coming? That doesn't seem too convincing to me.
I don't know so much. I just hope that Beyonce commercial's coming again.
Oh my God.
That's all.
We got the over with Josh Hart. You got the rebounds, assists.
Wow, back-to-back air balls for Bridges and Josh Hart.
We got the rebounds, assists.
Bridges and Jalen Brunson. You got it. Do I think a run is coming? It better happen now. I'll say yes. I'm going to be positive, people.
Okay.
A run is coming.
I don't know. I think we're going to close finish.
I can see the Knicks getting a nice little spurt here. Like a 6-0 spurt.
Yeah.
Getting back into the lead. I think it's going to start for them with
I'll
defense,
live with this if I'm the Knicks right here.
It's good defense by.
I'll live with that. That's fine.
I'm not. Again, I've seen Bridges has played some good defense tonight, man.
Turnaround jumper from Jason Tatum, if people didn't see it. Highly contested shot. Great fake. That's
patience.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Good job, Bridges.
That's beautiful. Good patience. That's what you want to see. He's 4 for 13, so you need to get him going. But I feel like this has been the story of Mikal Bridges.
Going back to Tatum again.
On Bridges.
They want help to come. Mm-hmm. And Anobi, look, he's watching. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you'll kind of live with that. I mean,
yeah, Tatum's hitting crazy shots, man.
Because if you double him, someone else is going to be open.
Yeah,
so Boston is elite at making you pick your poison.
Yep. That's what makes him so good.
That's a foul.
Brunson's also elite at this point in the game and knowing where he's got to get to the line. Look, this is what stars are going to do. And, man, like you said, Brian, what are you supposed to do with that? That's not Bridges. Bridges is doing his job. Tatum is a
defensive near. Like what else can you do?
You're supposed to make that shot as tough as you can for him. I think Bridges has competed just fine in this game. I've liked his effort on defense. He's even used some of his fouls. So it's more the offense. The fading away is where I've been more critical on him in this game. But I think he's competed in this game. I think all the Knicks have.
Yeah.
To be honest, like
Yeah.
this is not a lack of effort.
Yeah.
This isn't that. The Knicks, to me, at least thus far, we'll see how this goes over the final 4:45. But like they've done what I've wanted to see them do in this game, and that's compete. Now, you asked me about the run. That's the key. Do we think they are going to close? The Celtics only at 100 points right now with 4:40 to go. Like they played pretty good defense in this game.
Still no Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday.
Which is interesting. Peyton Pritchard and
get the over,
Sam
Peyton.
Hauser.
You're about to get taken out. Get the
Stop
over,
rooting
Peyton.
for him, man.
Get the over. Oh.
It's that way t-shirt. I'm telling you. I lob it up. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think Boston. Well, no, they have 2 timeouts. They're not going to call one now.
No, nobody up off the bench for Boston either.
Drew Holiday.
Oh, Drew Holiday at the table. You're right.
Yeah, I don't see Jaylen Brown.
Good recover by OG. Excellent recover. But height won there.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Sometimes I look at OG's recovery. Jaylen Brown looking salty on the bench.
Yeah, they just benching him. I mean, he's not playing well, but sheesh. That's something to watch. Oh no, way too far. How the hell did he get that pass off?
Yeah. I would like to see OG try to attack a little bit there off the head fake.
That's a foul.
Yo, this is so hard to cover, man. Like if one person has you beat, like once Tatum's got you beat, and Tatum's a better passer than people give him credit for.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, it's so hard. It's so hard to cover, and this is without Jaylen Brown on the floor. I got to give Joe Mazzulla a lot of credit. I wouldn't be trusting. He's trusting Peyton Pritchard and Sam Hauser in these crunch minutes.
Although one of them's going to come out for Drew Holiday right now. I would assume it's Peyton Pritchard. But, I mean, he's given you more than Sam Hauser is, like considerably more.
Greg says he thinks Brown is dealing with an injury.
That's what it is? Okay.
I hadn't, you know what's funny? I hadn't been looking on Twitter and seen anything of that. I'm about to take a quick look.
So they may close with, let me see, Tatum, Porzingis, obviously, Drew, Derek White. And then, yeah, you can go really with Hauser or Peyton Pritchard there. Peyton Pritchard would make your lineup a little smaller, but, I mean, in this particular matchup, you're fine. You can get away with that.
Yeah.
He gives you more on-the-ball juice offensively than Sam Hauser does.
Yeah, he definitely does. He definitely does there. We'll see. I'm trying to look at if there's anything on Jaylen Brown.
6 points, 2 of 8 shooting. Mike Cronin says Knicks suck. I think he's probably a Celtic fan.
Yo, a friend of the show, Noah Dalzell, said, I'm sensing a game winner tonight. I'm like, on what end?
Where did she say this?
Noah tweeted this 6 minutes ago.
Oh. Shout out to Noah. I mean, she'll probably get the call to preview the series.
She will.
If semifinals happens.
Noah hopped on with us to preview the last time. That's when I actually met Noah at the Garden when the Knicks played the Celtics. And that was February 8th, if I remember correctly. If I have that date correctly.
Amal, I hope that's how you pronounce it, because the other way would be unfortunate. Amal X Winston says, it's crazy how the Knicks can't beat solid teams. Direct on target.
Well, do you mean solid teams or elite teams?
I think elite teams probably.
Okay.
Means,
I mean,
still.
That's why they're elite teams, though.
The comment is up, yeah. I really hope it's Amal. But, yeah, I mean, this is not the first year of this build, but the first year of this version of it with Towns and Bridges. So we'll see. I do think it's a little concerning that they haven't beaten Boston or Cleveland or Oklahoma City. And some of those games haven't even been competitive. This one is. But, I mean, the playoffs are what's going to tell us, like, for real, what should happen in the future. So the playoffs tell.
He said it's Amal, by the way. All right, Amal. Thank you.
Thank God. Otherwise, there's a joke in there somewhere. All right, so we got Peyton Pritchard, Kristaps Porzingis, Tatum, Derek White, Drew Holiday for the Celtics, and then for
Good
the
help.
Knicks. For the Knicks, we have the starting five. Y'all know who that is. 3 minutes.
Big possession here for the Knicks.
Pritchard on Brunson. I mean,
yeah.
do you need a screen here?
I felt like you didn't.
Pritchard's going to compete, but I'd be fine with that matchup.
All right. And Bridges didn't fade away. Got to a spot like that. But if you're going to get right, like, see, that's the thing. In that last play, yeah, I want to see Bridges attack in that action when he got the ball off the screen. Oh, your boy. I'm
not going to get the threes either with Towns because he's not shooting any of them. This is amazing. I'm 2 points and 1 3 away, and I'm not going to get either.
You could you're 2 points and 3 away from going 3 for 3.
Seriously,
I don't know. Maybe you get a Towns 3 here. I thought you might get a kick out from Brunson.
I'm fine with that shot.
Ooh!
But that's what I mean. Like, Jalen Brunson could do that on Peyton Pritchard all day.
Yeah, I would keep attacking him.
Does he want a foul call? I did feel like there was.
I think he did
handsiness there, but I don't know if it rose to like. I mean, I don't want them to call everything.
8-2 run by the Knicks here. Can they continue D'ing up? Bridges on Porzingis. Watch this.
Oh wow, wide open Derek White. Miss. Good rebound.
Rebound by Cat.
Towns is having a good rebounding game. Very good game on the glass.
Yo, I'm just happy we got a competitive game, people.
Yeah.
142. Garden crowd is lit right now.
Oh.
And it's Captain Clutch. Captain Clutch. Ooh, OG with the big time board and putback. Get big. OG. Knicks got the lead. Knicks showed fight tonight, man. You can't be mad at this performance at all.
6 lead changes in this game, 5 ties.
Don't like this switch here.
Yeah. Okay, Carl.
Carl held his own.
Held his ground.
Wow.
Turnover.
You know what? You know what? If you look at that possession, you got to credit Cat, bro.
Yes, you do.
He held his ground on that. He moved his feet. That's as good as I've seen Cat move his feet all night.
That's what threw off Boston's possession, the entire thing, because I think they
got shocked that he moved his feet so good.
They felt like Derek White was going to have a free run.
So everybody relaxes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Yeah, and then it's like, wait, we didn't get the layup that we thought or the 3-point off of it. So now they're switching. So Pritchard's out. Luke Cornett is in. That's an interesting switch at this point.
But a good move by Missoula. I'm not sure he got that much better defensively. Now, can you attack,
you get bigger
can
defensively,
you attack
though.
Cornett here with Brunson?
I think this is why.
You got to switch you on. Now they're trapping. See, Mikal didn't hesitate. Mikal Bridges had a good fourth quarter here. Did not hesitate on the trap. Did what he's supposed to do. Credit Mikal. Big fourth quarter for him. He's hit 3 big shots. Well, move your feet, Cat. Don't reach.
See, they want the Cat matchup.
Good defense. They called a foul. He is pissed.
Chat, how are we feeling about that? Probably not awesome, right?
You like that foul call? Who's mad?
Probably not awesome. Let's see. Replay. He's little handsy.
He got him.
Yeah, they're going to call that one.
He got him. But, the foot. I don't know if that's a 3. That might be a 2, folks.
No, they're trying to see. Well, Reggie was talking about, I think, whether or not he was in bounds. It looked like a 3. Let's see. Look. Top. Okay, so we have this replay now from the top. Yeah, that barely, but it looks like a 3. Yeah, he got him right on the wrist. They're going to call that. Like, it is what it is. And you've talked about this with Towns with the untimely fouls. Like, he was doing well on that possession.
He was.
Too,
he's moved his feet well. Mitch in the game. They kept Towns in the game? Yes. So Mitch Towns in the game here.
Brunson's out.
Defense. Oh, he misses one. Doesn't get the tie. Are you calling timeout here?
To get Brunson in? You probably should. Yeah, there's a timeout.
Okay. That's a big miss.
I think that's literally why they did that, to just have more size
I like that.
on the and it's funny because Mitch didn't even get the rebound.
Right,
Mikal
and
Bridges
it
did.
ended up being Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
I gotta look. Knicks timeout. We're taking the timeout here, but we're keeping it right with you. Man, it's been a good game.
Yeah.
How about a good game for the first watch party?
Yeah. How about
like that? Mikal Bridges now 6 of 15 in this game, 2 of 6 from downtown, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, a steal, a block. He's +1, 14 points. I think he's been really solid. 6 points in the fourth quarter, 6 of his 14 in the fourth quarter. He's been really solid, man. Like, him and OG have been better in the second half than they were in the first half. They're not going to have stats that jump out for you, but their impact on defense was really good here in the second half, win or lose. Carthy Towns has had a big game, 31, 13 on the rebounds.
Timely rebounds from OG Anunoby too.
Yep, big time rebounds from OG Anunoby. The Knicks, I think one thing you could take away from this game is that the Knicks weren't out-muscled in this game and out-physicaled at all. 49-33 advantage on the glass, Brian. Like, look.
15-7 on offense.
Yeah, that's what that's I want to come out and get it.
Yeah.
We came here to get it.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of fight, because it's the energy and effort on defense. That's the thing. Even if the Knicks lose this game, I feel like if you're a Knicks fan, you got to come out somewhat encouraged and saying, like, man, I really see how they can compete. They're not shook of this team. Now, you'd like them to execute here. And I'm intrigued to see what the Knicks do here, because they've been trapping Brunson a lot. Mikal Bridges has been the valve. Is he going to be the guy again? It's going to be very interesting to see. But here's the thing. The Celtics will not trap Brunson early. They've been trapping him late in the shot clock.
They don't have to do it early either, because there's a 12-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock right now.
And only 10 left on the
shot. And if you're Boston, you obviously want this to be the Knicks' last possession. Boston, if they get the ball, they're going to call a timeout because they have 2 left.
Good pass.
Good cut.
Wow, what a cut by Josh Hart.
Timely cut.
That is Josh Hart doing Josh Hart things. Now can the Knicks play defense with 11 seconds?
It's a 3-point game now.
Oh, man. Ooh.
Oh, my God.
Jason Tatum.
With the step back 3.
What a step back, man.
Oh, my goodness. On OG Anunoby. I want to see a replay. Was there a push? Or did
OG look like he might have got pushed?
Or did he catch him there? Let's see. Okay.
No.
And with Tatum, you got to watch it because, I mean.
Oh. Hey, I just want to say the homie Noah Dowser said there will be a game winner today. Well, maybe it's coming for the Knicks. Maybe the Knicks are going to get the game winner. Maybe it's going to happen.
So what's the play for you with 3 seconds left? Are you just like Jalen Brunson, get out of the way? Is it Karl Anthony Towns? You try to get him in a mismatch real quick, risking that they'll send 2?
Nah. You know what?
In 3, you have like 3 seconds.
I want action that gets some motion. I would almost run the same thing you ran at the end of the Portland game for Bridges. Run that.
Oh.
Go run that. Bridges has made some big shots. His confidence is pretty good right now. Everybody's going to expect Towns. Everybody's going to expect Brunson. Give me Bridges on a nice curl action up the top.
16-footer. Something like that.
Even if he gets it, you don't have 3 seconds, but you have to have the right kind of curl that gives him enough space to make a decision and go.
Yeah.
Give it to Bridges and say, take us home.
I don't think Boston's going to let you get too like, I mean, if you can get him within 10 feet, that'd be awesome. I don't know how defensively it's going to look. So looking at the last couple plays again, Brunson got a bump there. What a cut by Josh Hart, man. And Jason Tatum was in a tough position because he had to account for 2 because they were overplaying on that side where Jalen Brunson went to. So they had like numbers essentially. Josh Hart gets that layup and then Jason Tatum
Bridges is inbounding here, folks. So he would not be the
unless
guy.
He gets it back. Look at that. Look at that. They looked at him too. Josh Hart. Overtime. Oh my God.
Crim's dad, we blame you. Overtime. He said it's going to be 5 of them, and there wasn't. Hey, Noah Dalzell said a game winner. She did not say it was going to be in regulation. That could come in overtime. Now, Josh Hart is not what you wanted. I thought he might hand it back to Bridges.
He wanted to.
And it's funny because there was space for him to do that.
But I think what would have happened was it looked like Bridges was just going to walk into like a 3, and Josh Hart figured I'll be more open
They won't
because I
expect
don't
me to
take
shoot it.
these.
Yeah.
And all things considered, like I hate taking a three in that spot, but you have 3 seconds, and it's tough to get to the rim if the defense is just not allowing you to do so. So, all things considered, I thought the look was okay.
Yeah, I saw our colleague Stephen Bondi just tweet. He's like, I don't understand how Brunson doesn't get the ball there. I'm always indifferent about that because do you want to just give your starter ball all the time when everybody knows he's going to get the ball in such a tight window? Like sometimes the unpredictability is good and you build
Against
some confidence.
Drew Holiday and Derek White at
That's
that,
what I'm
like,
saying. I'm like, that's why I felt going to one of the forwards was actually one of the better options.
I mean, I would have tried to, like, I need to see the play again. Towns would probably have been my first look, but Boston's not letting you get that mismatch with 3 seconds to go.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So Anthony Marr in the chat like, why not foul Jason? Don't get it. It was way too early when he was like dribbling to foul. Like
I also don't like just.
I don't love that strategy.
Me
I'm not a
neither.
fan of it unless it's below a certain. Like I know he released a shot with about 5 seconds and usually under 6, but like when you're guarding in that position, it's not as easy to just foul there. And I wouldn't have done that.
He made a tough shot too. Like he misses a 3. What are we talking about?
Yeah, we can give credit sometimes. Jason Tatum has made some tough shots in this game. Like
I'm always trying to get to the rim in that situation, though. I like, but you have 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 seconds. Like at the end of the
what's
day.
the Knicks record in overtime this year? It's 5-1. The Knicks are 5-1 in overtime.
I think that's right. Greg says it has to be a cut. Asher says layup, don't force a 3. Cardiac Nick says, of course, overtime in a meaningless game. Crimsad says, I always call overtime this year. 3 times I called it. And then Anthony says, good point, just frustrated. Yeah, I mean, okay, so we have more basketball.
Free basketball.
Yeah. I'm absolutely drinking tea when I get home.
I'm drinking it right now.
Overtime records: Knicks are 6-1, Boston 3-2.
6-1.
They just put it on the screen. Boston's 3-2. That's interesting. Who you play in overtime also matters. Shout out to whoever that was in the front row wearing Ewings.
Yes.
It didn't look like Action Bronson's legs, but that would have surprised me if that's something that he'd do. We have Luke Cornett still in the game. So no Porzingis. We assume they'll bring him in at some point, but otherwise it's the start. It's Sam Hauser is also in because Jaylen Brown is out. So Drew Holiday, Derek White, Tatum, Sam Hauser, Luke Cornett for Boston, and Kristaps Porzingis will probably come in. The Knicks just have their traditional starting 5 and closing 5.
Got a miss from Tatum to start. Good defense by Bridges. Bridges' defense has been good. He's been playing with 4 fouls for a long time. We've seen Bridges play with 5 fouls. Remember this at the end of the Portland game.
50 rebounds for the Knicks today, by the way. 50. Oh, miscommunication. Josh Hart went to set the screen.
Man,
no one was there.
That's a tough turnover.
Yeah, tough spot for that. Good jab step by Tatum.
Good hands.
There's a rebound by Towns. No.
Yes.
Foul. There was a foul. Yeah.
Mr. Sam Hauser.
Towns has
14 boards, I believe. That's
it?
14.
13 I'm looking at.
I think that was number 14.
I feel like he had so much more. I thought it was going to be 17 or something like that when I looked.
Hey, man, you're taking some heat for the Celtics going to OT. The streets are saying it's your white shirt. It's your fault. The streets are out here saying it's your white shirt.
We're getting OT and Payne Pritchard still won't get us over because not even on the court right now.
See, you out here rooting for Payne Pritchard too. Man.
It was a good spot. He's only taking 5 shots. He's made 2. Is what it is. Still need that Towns 3, though.
Might get a Josh Hart 3 right here, and you do.
Gross.
Good save by OG.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
Luke Cornett fast break. Oh, my God. Yo, Josh Hart just like the player in the secondary trying to save a touchdown at all costs.
All caught. Hey, I like it. No easy layups, Luke Cornett.
He hit him on the thigh, I guess.
He's going for the ball.
What a klutzy fast break. What a clumsy fast break that was. Pardon me. Oh, what happened there?
Wow.
Sam Hauser gets a free look at the rim. No one was at the rim. Everyone was occupied with whatever formation was going on there. That was like a Spoelstra play. He does that sometimes, where everyone's over here and figures out how to get somebody to the rim without any resistance, and Sam Hauser gets the cut there.
It's Drew Holiday on Cat.
Don't
Not
like that
what
shot.
I like from Cat.
No.
Fading away
From
when
that
Drew Holiday.
from the elbow too.
Come on, man. You gotta punish Drew Holiday on that. No, Drew Holiday's a really good defender in the post too. But you gotta punish him on that.
Towns is 31, and he had like 20 of them in the first half.
Damn, Knicks getting beat on the boards. I'll tell you what, early on his possession, look at OG's ball denial on Tatum.
Mhm.
Really good, man.
Yeah.
Making Tatum work.
Towns had the right idea with the help, but Tatum was able to look at this. See, miscommunication. Hauser is just chilling by the rim. You can't have that in overtime. 3 for Karl Anthony Towns.
2 missed free throws by Tatum in his last 3 attempts at the line.
Knicks haven't scored in overtime yet. That's not an ideal sign. I don't know if people are going to blame that on fatigue or whatever. I think Boston's just defended really well so far. I think both teams actually have, but the Knicks are giving up second chance opportunities. Boston hasn't in this overtime period.
It's a 1-possession game. Knicks still in this. They got to execute.
Nope. Okay, Carl.
Tell you what, that shot by OG looked like fatigue. Straight fatigue. No legs on that shot.
No legs. Too early in the shot clock. Minutes distribution. Here we go. Minutes
police on the screen.
Josh Hart, 45. Karl Anthony Towns, 40. Anunoby, 39. Brunson, 36. Bridges, 35.
They'll be like, yo, why did you play these guys?
I told you Hart was gonna get 40,
45.
like 44 plus, and we're there.
Yep.
On the flip side, though, let's be fair here. Tatum, 45 minutes. Tatum, 45. Derek White, 40. Porzingis, 36. Drew, 35. And Peyton Pritchard with 30 off the bench. Hauser with 25 also.
Oh, no. Played him too many minutes in an overtime game. Let's fire Joe Mazzulla.
Here comes Porzingis. So next dead ball.
Knicks needed that free throw.
Let me see something. Celtics. Okay.
Got a foul on.
That's why. The Celtics play the Magic tomorrow in Orlando. They're flying down there after this game, after an overtime game. So that's why they're probably not going to play anybody tomorrow.
Probably not.
You know?
Maybe that's also why they were being precautious with Jaylen Brown if he did tweak anything.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown does have a heat pad on his upper left thigh.
It's going to be the Baylor Shireman show.
Just how Boston likes it.
Oh.
Wow. Damn. It's one of Towns' best defensive plays of the year.
Yeah, just going around the world. I'm not going to call it a Euro step because it wasn't, but that's what created that opportunity. That was a good take by Towns.
Yeah, good defense by him, too.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my God.
Until that.
Good foul, though, by Josh Hart.
Boston is 15 of 20 on free throws. Yeah, see that fake pass.
That froze Tatum right there.
Mm-hmm. Tatum doesn't want to foul.
I think if you watch this game, you just see how much of a price, man. It's so hard to guard Boston. This isn't just for the Knicks. This is for most of the league, man.
Everyone. This is without Jaylen Brown, too.
Yeah, it's so hard to guard.
This is without Jaylen Brown, too. Yeah.
And remember, no Jaylen Brown. No, we didn't even see Al Horford tonight. So
he might play tomorrow.
Yeah.
Who knows? He was celebrating Florida's national championship.
He was. It was like, yo, here, take the night off.
I wanted Houston to win personally.
So did I.
Yeah. Houston plays like my kind of team, as you know.
Physical.
physical.
Maybe too old for college dudes.
Offense is it's a chore. Nice.
Ooh, Captain Clutch.
Oh, we're gonna have double overtime.
Yo, we have double overtime. Crim's dad, I'll be looking at you, man. You said 5 OTs.
Here we go.
All right, they want to get Cat on
High
the
screen.
switch.
Carl Anthony Towns is in the mismatch again.
I actually think Brunson there.
Jump ball. Yep.
I think I think Tatum kind of bailed out there. Cat came up a little quicker. He should have maybe took another dribble.
They don't think that Josh Hart doesn't think this should be a jump ball. He thinks he just has it.
And it should be him out of bounds.
But Derek White came down with the ball too. He's saying he came down with the ball out of bounds.
It's a big jump ball.
Yeah, it's a jump ball. Cardiac Knicks is double overtime in a meaningless game is unreal. Cardiac Knicks is a very appropriate name for this game in particular.
Yes. OG and Tatum getting into it here.
Let's go.
All right. Yeah. I like that.
Little play. Hey, listen,
like that.
The second round will be here before you know it.
Yeah.
You got to get past first round first. But
I like that.
Second round will be here before you know it.
Knicks win the tip.
That fake pass by Brunson is so funny. He likes doing that shit.
I like it too. This can't just be Brunson hero ball.
High screen, Josh Hart. Step back three. Didn't like that.
Yeah, I thought that was way too predictable of a possession.
Decent look, but you have time. High screen KP. We're watching Towns now.
They want every action. This is with the Knicks' two worst defenders.
Look, he gets it. They get it. Oh my God. Oh
man.
Look at Torrey Craig.
Man.
From Schenectady, as Kevin Harlan would typically say. Jesus. How many revenge games has Porzingis had already? Go get it. Give it back. Reset. Predictable offense. Don't love it. He's going to take a step back three.
Got it, though. Oh, just short.
Towns. Oh,
Knicks
that's
ball.
Knicks ball. $16 seconds left.
I would take a timeout here.
Yeah.
They need a timeout. They need to reset.
This is ridiculous.
Now, this is a problem. This is going to be a problem for the Knicks because when a team like the Celtics can do this with you, where they can hunt your two weakest defenders, put them in action, man, that's a problem.
It's just the main two teams, really. It's just Boston and Cleveland that they can do that.
OKC can do it too, but they don't have enough guys you trust as much to do it.
And you probably that's honestly, I
that's the thing.
I don't think they'll have to worry about OKC.
Right. I don't think so either. But like that's the thing. We're talking about three teams in the league that are elite, and we're saying that the Knicks aren't there at that level, right?
They struggled with the Lakers this year too, right?
Yeah, granted, the Knicks could have won that second game if Brunson doesn't roll his ankle. So it's like
fair. Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
So the Knicks were right in that game to win that.
It's just all that matters to me is Cleveland, Boston. That's it. Because I feel like they can beat everyone in the East.
Yeah,
it's not a gimme. Look, if Damian Lillard comes back and they actually get Milwaukee in round one, like that's gonna be an adventure. Like that. I think Milwaukee, like they're kind of at that stage now where I feel comfortable betting against them, so to speak. But it's Giannis and Dame in round one if it's Dame,
I think I feel like it's even crazy. We're talking about Dame coming back or potentially coming back. Like people don't usually come back from that quickly.
Yeah, it's tough.
The blood clot, the vein thrombosis. Like I feel like that's even crazy if he does come back.
Yeah, but he might not. Detroit is more likely anyway. I think if you're ranking the teams that you want the most, I'd want Detroit. I'd probably want Detroit. I was going to say I might want Milwaukee without Dame more, but no, I'd want Detroit more. But I would feel great about it either way. Those are all series I think could go 6-7. All would be a pain in the ass.
I think Detroit's good, as we see what the Knicks can do here.
Just inexperienced.
Yeah, I think
But
Detroit's
Cade
good.
in that series, like, man,
I'm not fearing them the way some people are. Like Cade is a problem because of his height and the way he can attack Brunson.
I get it.
And the Knicks, even with Dame, they have taken care of Milwaukee pretty well. They match up very well with Milwaukee. I'm not saying it'll be easy, but I think the Knicks win either of those series. We'll get into more of that later. All right, see what the Knicks got here.
Oh
my God.
no!
Oh my goodness,
And
Mikal Bridges.
Mikal of all
It had
people.
to be Bridges of all
I know.
people. The fans are not letting this one go.
Pump fake and eyes off the ball.
Look at Melo. Oh, that's gonna be a gift. That's gonna be a meme. Melo's like, oh, bro, what are you doing?
It's just like in baseball where you're it's a pop fly ball routine and you just take your eyes off it and you just bloop it and it's an error. It's the same thing. Mikal just had his eyes, like he was focused on the next thing. Happens all the time. That piece of it where guys just they're focused on the next thing and not even looking the ball in, but it bit him in the ass that time. That's tough.
That's tough. You know, those things are tough. Hart fouls out.
Yeah.
Those things are tough because you always want a shot, you know, at least get a shot up.
Deuce is in for Josh Hart, I believe.
Yeah, Cardiac Nick says he would sub Hart for Shannon. Why? What is that going to do? Like, how is that going to change the game?
Why? Oh, so funny. Yeah, you'll need a 3 here, pretty much. I don't know about you, but I'd want Karl-Anthony Towns to take this 3.
What are the Pacers? Well, of course you want Karl-Anthony Towns to take the 3. Well, what a shock. What are the Pacers doing? That's something I hadn't checked on.
There's the last time out. Yeah, let's see what's actually happening elsewhere in the league tonight. By the way, Timberwolves are this is relevant.
Pacers won tonight, beat the Wizards 104-98.
Okay, Timberwolves are beating the Bucks 98-97 with 3 minutes left. That's too early to call. Too early to call, like I'm talking about an election.
Yes, you do sound like you're talking about an election. Electoral votes are in.
Pacers, Wizards. Pacers beat the Wizards only by 6. Memphis 120. They beat Houston. Houston.
By the way, the Cavs won tonight, so they clinched the 1 seed. That is wrap. Because their magic number was 1.
So absolutely no one's going to play for Boston tomorrow.
No, or probably for the rest of the season.
Boston will be locked in at 2. Indiana will make up a game on the Knicks if the Knicks do lose this. So that makes Jimmy Butler has a Cheez-It commercial.
That's your boy.
He was one of my favorite players, actually. I thought the commercials with him would stop, but apparently not. I mean, look, it pays to have great representation. So there's that. Jimmy Butler. They're actually playing right now on TNT, but TNT is still showing the end of this, so we're obviously thankful for that. Pacers would be 2 games behind the Knicks if the Knicks do lose this.
Knicks still just need one more win or Pacers loss.
Jesus.
That could have been an and 1.
Yeah, honestly. You got a foul right away. Yeah, they got him. Hashtag important to some. The spread was 2.5.
Did that Jimmy Butler Cheez-It commercial make you want to go get some Cheez-Its?
We have some. I might.
There you see. It got you. Got you.
We have some. Literally, we have some over there.
We do. We do have some here.
Yeah, I've never seen that commercial either.
I've not seen
Sean
that one.
Sullivan says, "Do you think the Knicks got this?" No.
What do you mean, got this like got the win?
No. I think they got the 3. I think they'll get the 3 seed. I think they'll land at 3. Do you care about seeding? Do you have a preference between Detroit and potentially Dameless?
No, if you believe you're a good team, you believe you are who you think you are, you go try to get the most wins you can and get the highest seed you can and let the rest take care of itself.
Oh, they covered. They covered.
They covered. Somebody's pissed.
They covered Jalen
man.
Brunson with the
three.
complete, like, no need for that 3-pointer at all. Backdoor cover at the buzzer.
Man.
Just you love a good backdoor cover.
That is a bad beat if you had the Celtics.
If you had the Celtics 2.5,
Woo.
you are pissed.
If you had the Knicks plus the points, you are thrilled.
You are ecstatic right now. Is that Patrick Beverley?
That is Patrick Beverley. That is Patrick Beverley. Patrick Beverley, what you doing? Trying to get back on the NBA roster?
Is it his season in Turkey isn't over, is it?
Who knows?
EuroLeague is still going.
All right, so the Knicks fall 117 to 115. Celtics cover on that one. So disappointing.
119, 117?
119, 117. Sorry, so 119, I said 117, 115. Disappointing finish for the Knickerbockers there. But look, it was a fun watch party. But we're not done yet because we're still going to give you a little post-game recap here. And the Knicks fall in this one 119, as I said, 117 to the Celtics. Dexter Henry Bryan Fonseca, we thank you for joining us here on the first ever New York Post Sports watch party, watch along, whatever you want to call it. We had a good time doing this one for the Knicks. Knicks fall in overtime. This was an overtime game. So we got a little free basketball in this.
Yeah.
At the top of this, you and I said, hey, the Knicks have to compete. They got to compete in this one. They were competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a positive for you going forward? Because I think there's some positives you can take out of this. Or is it like, yo, man, it's another L?
Whenever you cover, you're competitive.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on.
No, I legitimately think like there's a lot of good to take away from this, but ultimately, like, you have to finish games. Like, you got a little bit of a gift in that Jaylen Brown, 1, was struggling, 2, didn't finish the game.
Only played 22 minutes.
Right. And to be fair, Kristaps Porzingis making 8 threes is not something you could just bank on. You could bank on the Celtics making threes, the process of how they got it today. Like, started off 6-24, ended much better than that. Like, ultimately, you had opportunities to finish. And what people are going to remember, unfortunately, you're down 3 with an opportunity to tie with seconds to go, 16 seconds. You have the final possession, and Mikal Bridges fumbles the ball out of bounds on a pass by Karl-Anthony Towns. Just a standard pass, eyes off the ball, and it goes off on him. Mikal Bridges, who was playing really well in that fourth quarter, we gave him credit. He was finding the shots. He was making the shots. And defensively, he was competing. He got scored on a couple times by Jason Tatum. It was like tip your hat shots. It was very tough, like mid-range jumpers and things of that nature. But that's what's going to be the takeaway there, because you had a chance with that possession, and it doesn't always come down to the last possession. Like, there are other things that go on in the game.
Things,
Coaches say this all the time. But what people will remember, what y'all will remember, is that Mikal Bridges fumbled that pass, the last possession of, or what should have been the last possession of the game, and they had a chance to tie it with that possession. They didn't get a chance to do that. The Celtics get fouled. The game's out of reach at that point, and we are where we are now.
Yeah, the thing about that is, yeah, you're right. That's how people are going to look at it. That's what they're going to remember. And I'm going to be real with y'all. Y'all know y'all not being fair. That's not being fair. You know you're not being fair. Because here's the thing. It doesn't, like you said, it doesn't come down to just that. Like, there was a chance for him to tie. You could look at, we criticized the shot Jalen Brunson took before that, the three-pointer he took that you said was not good offense.
It was predictable. It was predictable. Quick. Yeah.
I think there's more things you could tie. And it's funny because I don't want to kill Mikal Bridges, because I really feel like he stepped up. He had big shots in the fourth quarter. He played big-time defense. He had timely shots when they were playing within the offense, where he was the valve guy for Jalen Brunson when he got trapped. So, look, he fumbled the ball out of bounds. There's going to be the folks, like you said, they're going to pile on him because the Knicks gave up 5 first-round picks. Do I think they're being fair in that? No, because I don't think you're looking at the whole you're looking at the whole situation of what happened in the game. Mikal Bridges is not the reason they lost the game. Mikal Bridges is a huge part of the reason they were even in that game to have that. Is it a bad turnover? Yeah, no doubt. I'm not making any excuses for that. But if you're going to put the blame on him and say that he's the reason you lost the game, You're just sitting there because you're salty because they gave up 5 first-round picks. And I've said it before, Mikal Bridges has had an underwhelming season. I understand all that, but he's not the reason that they lost the game. You saw my here says Mikal Bridges take the train back to Barclays Center.
The Bucks, by the way, are going to beat the Timberwolves. They're up 6 with 13 seconds left.
All right, so there you go. That looking like the Pistons. The Knicks still have work to do. They still need to get another win to wrap up this number 3 seed. I think personally, when you look at this game, I can't go back on what I said at the jump. The Knicks had to compete. The Knicks competed. And this is what I would ask fans, because you can't be too greedy. I heard this when the Knicks got blown out in February by both of these teams. I heard, I want to see the Knicks be competitive. Well, you got this. You saw the Knicks competitive in this game, right? They didn't get the win, but you got the competition in this game. Is there something you could build on? I do think there's lessons learned in losses. There's winning and there's losses. Mm-hmm. And you can learn some lessons in this. And I think there's things they can learn from this game that should give them some confidence going forward. Now, they still got stuff to wrap up. I still would like it if they were a little deeper, Brian.
Yeah.
Because you wonder a little bit about that. Are these guys that's, I guess, where I could go here. When you look at a game like this for Boston, and then granted, Boston didn't go that deep in their bench. Let's be real. We talked about the minutes they had. It wasn't like Boston was that deep into their bench, right? They were really
both teams went 8 deep, essentially. If you're discounting, and I will, because 7 minutes for Landry Shamet, the Knicks actually played 9 guys, whereas Boston played 8.
Right.
But 7 minutes for Landry Shamet, he got a stint. He's not really part of the rotation. In as a pertain,
I'm not sure he's going to be part of the playoff rotation.
I don't know if he should be, given what we've seen so far.
Right. Somebody in the chat earlier asked about DeLon Wright, and you can talk about that. The Knicks played 9, Celtics played 8. Granted, Celtics had no Horford. Jaylen Brown only played 22 minutes.
Yeah.
Again, so a lot of people in this game played heavy minutes.
Boston treated this like a playoff game. Jason Tatum played 48 minutes.
But the Knicks also treated this like a playoff game. Yeah. And see, this is what kills me with people. People always say, well, I don't agree with these people, but the people are like, the NBA regular seasons matter. You got Cardiac Knicks in here talking about it's a meaningless game, which is not true. But you have all this stuff, and it's like guys are playing for seeding, and they're playing these minutes like it does matter. I agree with you. Boston absolutely treated this like a playoff game. So did the Knicks. It's what you want to see. Mm-hmm. If the Knicks believe who they are, they're going to see this team in round 2. It's what you want to see. So
it's tough because you have Boston shooting 19 of 49 from 3, 39%.
Yep.
Boston, who started off 6 of 24, they basically go on a stretch where they're hitting 15 of 25 after that, which is well above 50%. And then with the Knicks, you're 11 of 38 from 3. So you're not even 30%. On top of that, you're missing 6 free throws. You only get 16 free throw attempts, and you're missing 6 of them. Okay, that's important too. Boston, a team that doesn't get to the line at will, 20 of 25. Very good free throw shooting performance. That's exactly 80%. And it's not often that you have a game, and this is where I'd be a little bit like, they blew it here. 52 rebounds for the Knicks.
Yeah.
Big rebound advantage. 52 to 38. It's not often that you lose a game where you have a 52 to 38 rebound advantage. Yes, we'll acknowledge the Celtics 3-point shooting. This is what they do. The Celtics shot 10 percentage points better. That's a lot.
But that's the difference in the game.
Right. They made 19 to 11 from 3 and all those different things. But early on, that wasn't the disparity. The Knicks were doing, I thought, a great job on the glass, but Boston's rebounds in overtime were timely. They created multiple second chance opportunities. The Knicks weren't doing that. The Knicks offense got really stagnant. They didn't even score for the first couple of minutes. And the offense got predictable. And ultimately, I think these are the things you have to watch out for late in games. It wasn't just regulation. It was also overtime. So, and remember, to get out of regulation, to get into overtime, Jason Tatum just creates a really good 3-point shot on OG Anunoby, one that you're just a great player made a great shot.
And sometimes that happens. And the Knicks were right there. They didn't. The little things, it's taking care of the ball. It's getting the threes. The Knicks set up 38 threes in this game. As we talked about Celtics, we know they put up a lot of threes, and they put up a lot of good ones, 49 in this one. So it's a volume, and then they shoot 10 percentage points better than you. the Knicks have to be better for threes. Some of that's going to happen. Like, you would have liked your boy Karl-Anthony Towns to hit some more threes because he did not. You would have liked that for your prop. He didn't get that done.
Of course.
It could the Knicks. I'm also trying to look at the quality. Campaign attempted 7 shots. Campaign. He had 3 attempted 3-pointers. Brunson attempted 12 3-pointers in this game, went 5 of 12.
A lot of those were late.
A lot of those were late.
Yeah.
Josh Hart 0 of 4 from downtown. Not a good offensive night for Josh Hart.
A couple of attempts too, were just kind of not heaves, but late in the clock. Obviously, the last one in regulation where they just kind of had to throw something up. So Josh Hart probably intentionally took 1 or 2 threes.
OG didn't hit a 3 tonight, 0 of 5. Josh Hart, I said 0 of 4, 5 of 14 from the field. OG 5 of 13. So not good offensive nights from those guys.
No, OG also 3 of 6 from free throw,
which I did like. I thought OG was aggressive. I thought OG's defense.
You like the 6, but not the 3.
Yes.
And you also don't like that he had, I think it was the second, or maybe, no, I think it was the last time he went to the free throw line where he just missed both.
I also think that's the other thing you could look at in this game. This is a 2-point game. The Celtics went 80% from the line. The Knicks shot 62% of the line.
Mm-hmm. Less attempts too.
Fewer attempts too, right? 10 of 16. The Celtics shot 25 free throws. Mm-hmm. When you look at this stuff, and this is why we talk about all this, it does not just come down to Mikal Bridges turning the ball over. Mm-hmm. If the Knicks shot maybe 5 percentage points better from three-point land and hit half more of their free throws that they miss, they win this game. Sometimes it's the little things, taking care of the ball. They had a bad turnover at the end.
There was the third quarter blitz also where they're just like, all right, now let's get Towns involved in everything. Boston did. The third quarter blitz, they're just like, we're just going to attack Karl-Anthony Towns for whatever this is, a 5-minute stretch and what have you. And it's just pulling up from creating 3-point shots that he's going to come out late to. Because if he doesn't, then it's going to be an easy drive, and then it'll be a drive and kick, and then you'll get a 3-point shot anyway. It's like getting Karl-Anthony Towns on the actions and forcing him to continuously make all these tough decisions about how he's going to commit, how he's not. And if he's going to be left out on an island, then the Knicks are going to be in trouble. And guess what? Even if they're not out on the island, even if he's not out on the island, then somebody's going to overcommit, which happens a lot. We've seen this how many times this year, where Karl-Anthony Towns is in the action, and then you have the opposing big man or the opposing wing or whoever it is. And it's like, all right, here comes somebody, Mikal Bridges or OG Anunoby, usually to help, and there's a wide open 3-point shot in the corner. So Boston is elite, the best in the NBA at making you pick your poison because of how they can shoot threes, because they always have lineups, it feels like, where everyone can knock down a 3-point shot and you have to account for them outside of maybe Luke Cornett. This is what they do. And I think that third quarter really flipped it and made a difference. And to the Knicks' credit, they responded later in that third quarter too. We were talking about, that was a stretch where they were down 7, I believe it was. It was 73-66. And it was like, oh, are the Knicks going to just kind of fold here? Or are the Celtics just going to continue running this up? Or are they going to come back and actually have a run on their own and make this a game? They made it a game. They did all the things that you pretty much wanted. They just didn't finish. And that may end up being the story of this team this season, depending on how the playoffs go.
It might be. The thing is, we also got to look at it this way too. They've got blown out by these elite teams. Outside of, I would say, this game and the first OKC game in OKC, which they faltered late, but they were in that game until late in the fourth quarter. The Knicks really haven't been in games against the elite teams. They've been in games against other teams, but they have no idea what it is, how to execute against these elite teams. And so you saw execution. It is hard to win. It is hard to win in the NBA against elite teams, and you have to learn how to do that. There's learning that has to go on. You just don't automatically do it. So that's why, for me, it's about what do the Knicks learn from this game moving forward? Because it really did come down to execution. Boston out-executed them. You know why Boston probably out-executed them? They've been here before.
Yeah.
They've done this before. They are the defending champions for a reason. The Knicks have to take that from them and out-execute them. They have to learn from this. You didn't learn much from any of the Knicks stuff when you saw them getting smacked and getting their ass beat by the Celtics the other 3 times. There are things you can look at this and learn from today. And I'm sure, we haven't heard the post-game comments yet, I'm sure that's what Tom Thibodeau is going to be talking about. Yeah. I'm sure what this team is going to be talking about. Did they want to win? Absolutely. Are there lessons in losing? Yes. I'm not a morals victory guy. There are lessons in losing? Absolutely. They should have wanted to win. They wanted to win this game. I think they fought hard in this game. I think there's things as a Knicks fan you could be encouraged this game. Small sample size because you haven't seen them play that many close games against elite competition. But it's not like they folded. They got little things they need to clean up. Free throw shooting you can clean up, right? Your overall shooting you can clean up. Turnovers you can clean up.
The defense.
Yeah.
The defense at the point of attack. The defense on switches. When to help, when not to help. Over helping at times. Like timing. And a large part of this also is you talked about Boston just winning a title. Like they won a title together and just ran back the same team. Like these are a lot of the same dudes.
Continuity
in the case of, and I know Jaylen Brown didn't finish the game, but in the case of him, like, and Jason Tatum, they've been playing together for almost a decade at this point. Peyton Pritchard's been there his entire career. Kristaps Porzingis has been there a couple years, and he's gotten more. Like he's been there longer than Karl-Anthony Towns has been a Knick, or longer than Mikal Bridges has been a Knick. Like when you look at just their build, they have guys who are very complementary to one another, just from a skill set standpoint. But then also the chemistry is there because they've been playing together for longer, and they really figured it out last year. Like Mazzulla was like, "Listen, this is how we're going to play," and they all did it, and they all did it at a high level. Al Horford didn't play. He's obviously been in Boston what feels like forever, although this is a second run because he was, he had stints in Philly and elsewhere, Oklahoma City. For a little bit. So that's part of it too. And this is the point you always make about, like, this sounds like a post-mortem. We still have the playoffs to look forward to.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it's dead.
but like this is ultimately what it is. So I don't want to get into like, oh, like, yeah, the depth will be better next year, whatever. But it's not really about that. It's like, you have to finish these opportunities if you're going to get somewhere. And right now the focus has to be, okay, lock in this 3 seed, prepare for your first round matchup. It may be Detroit. That's what it's looking like. And then take care of that series. Like, don't play with your food, so to speak. Detroit is they're talented, they're tough, they're gritty. I guarantee there's going to be at least one fight in that series, probably more.
Yeah, you're hoping for that.
I promise you. Like, with Isaiah Stewart, with Ron Holland, like, Malik Beasley, like this, and then you got guys on the Knicks, obviously, like Josh Hart, for example. There's going to be at least one kerfuffle in that series. But if the Knicks could take care of them in 5, then it's like, okay, like then now you can rest up for what will likely be Boston. If you let Detroit take you to 6 or 7, that's where it gets a little dicey, and people are not going to feel confident in this team.
Yeah, I think one of the things you can see with the Knicks, and we'll talk about this more in the coming weeks, but I think they're hearing some of this talk. I think they've responded well. I think they will hear some of this talk. I think the Knicks will come out very focused in the first round. One of the things I think you know about Tom Thibodeau's teams, they had won 7 of their last 9 games coming into this one. They played very well to close the season. We've seen the Knicks do this in multiple years. You want to be playing your best basketball this time of year.
Yeah.
You want to be competitive against the best teams at this time of the year. The Knicks show they can be competitive about that. There's work to do. It's a process. I think that's the thing I've been saying all along, is that I think some of the fan base doesn't understand that there's a process to this. And I always say it's particularly the younger Knicks fans, because they haven't seen winning. They haven't seen the building of a team and what it takes to get to this point. It's not overnight. It's not going to just be you change 3/5 of the starting lineup and it's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. It's not going to be that. It's going to take time. I know nobody wants to hear that, but it's a process. And I don't know when that time is. Like, did we foresee OG Anunoby? Look at the way OG Anunoby's been playing, not really tonight, but his development. Sometimes things shift. It takes time for guys to get together. The Knicks have just got guys back and they're healthy.
Yeah.
Deuce McBride is now back. Campaign is back. Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah.
So you've seen these things, and I think you still have to understand that it's a process, and this is part of the process. So the Knicks' job right now, they have to try to wrap up the 3rd seed. They have a chance to do that on Thursday when they play the Pistons in Detroit. That could be a very
fitting that's the game.
And I think it's good. They'll be up for that game too.
Mm-hmm. Detroit will too. It's gonna be fun.
I'm intrigued to see how the Knicks play that because Jalen Brunson play. He's going to miss one of these last 3 games. Is he going to play the Detroit game? Is he going to play the Cleveland game? Which game are they going to sit him out for?
1,000% play him the Detroit game.
I would too. I would do the same thing. I play him the Detroit game.
That's the series. I treat the Detroit game like it's part of the playoff series. I want to see, and they won't do that from the standpoint of like they're not going to give you all the secrets. Neither team is. Like, they're going to save some stuff for the playoffs in terms of matchups, in terms of just the process of how to get there, and in terms of like schematically what each team is going to put forward. But I think as it pertains to how Cade Cunningham looks, who matches up on him, that's going to be important. How they account for Malik Beasley, who's been shooting really well.
And it's killed him in 2 games this season.
You know, on the glass, we've talked about the performance that Karl Anthony Towns had. Jalen Duren can pull down some rebounds at a very high level. And then you have like the athleticism of Asar Thompson, of Ron Holland, Isaiah Stewart, who he's one of the better like
fighters.
He's one of the better guys in the league in terms of like he's better than what the stats will show you. Like his impact and switchability on defense is going to be very like it's going to be a nuisance in that series in a way that I'm not sure Knicks fans are prepared for. Offensively, he's not going to give you a ton, but from a defensive standpoint, and obviously from an intangible spiritual standpoint, if you will, like he's going to give that team something. So I think it's actually a great test for the Knicks. Detroit in that game and likely in round 1 as a warm-up for like what will be, you know, the Celtics series. That's ultimately like, I mean, you either beat them or you don't.
Yeah, look, I think it's a great warm-up. I think it's fine in doing that. We'll see what the Knicks can do. Look, I think there's a lot to be positive from and be encouraged by in this game. If you're a Knicks fan, I know it's a loss, but I know, you know, the Knicks still have 50 wins. They have a chance to get a couple more. I think they will. I think they'll wrap at the 3rd seed. I'm going to predict that. I think they wrap at the 3rd seed on Thursday. Mm-hmm. They go to Detroit for a business trip, and then they can start resting players. Hopefully, because if not, the minutes Karens, y'all going to come for tips. I know that for sure. You absolutely will. We are going to wrap here. We did a little OT. Thankfully, it did not go to 5 overtimes, like Krim's dad said, because that would have been terrible. We want to thank everybody for rocking with us through this watch party and post-game wrap-up. We appreciate you. We're hoping to do more of these. We've been talking about doing some of these through this season. We finally got one in here at the end of the season. We'll keep you posted on what the plans are for the playoffs. But I do not think this will be the last one because there's so many of you were checking in, and we appreciate that. So shout out to everybody watching with us on Facebook, YouTube, on Twitter. We appreciate you. If you like this one, please like, share it, whatever it is. But the Knicks do fall to the Celtics 119-117 at the Garden. As the Celtics, they're now locked into the 2 seed. Cavaliers got the 1 seed. Knicks still trying to wrap up that 3rd seed. We'll see if they're able to do it on Thursday. That's going to do it for New York Got Game. This is our live show for the week. We're not doing another one. We'll be back with another episode of New York Got Game that'll drop on Monday. Yeah. And then we'll have some playoff previews next week. A whole bunch of stuff. A lot of good Knicks content coming your way on New York Post Sports. So definitely check in with us. Tap in, like, hit that subscribe button, do all that good stuff. This was fun, man.
Yeah. Yeah, like old times. If you've been following us for a long time, because we did a pod together for many years, and we've been on camera together for close to a decade.
Almost 8 years.
Woo!
Yeah. It's a long time. So we had fun, man. We had fun with the people.
Won't be our last one. And honestly, like there's going to be a lot to get into. So I'm excited for the playoffs, just league wide. Just not just the Knicks, but obviously like everything going on. Like the league is so interesting right now. That we're getting into this playoff push. And I feel like I have no idea what's going to happen, even though I kind of have an idea like who the favorites are. But listen, you could talk me into a lot of different scenarios, and we'll see where the Knicks shake out and all that.
Look, it's going to be fun. City was rocking last spring. Yeah. I think it'll be rocking again this spring. I think the Knicks is set to bring a little bit of some energy, and let's see. We'll see what they can do. They got a lot of some business to take care of first. Take it step by step. We will see what they will do. He's Bryan Fonseca. I'm Dexter Henry. We'll catch you next time. We'll let you know when the next watch party is, when the next live show is. But like I said, stay tuned to New York Post Sports. New York Got Game. We're out. Peace.